Sánchez cocinando. Sánchez cocinando. Sánchez cocinando. Sánchez cocinando.
It's kind of like the sun coming over a dark cloud and shining on you with its warm rays of beneficence.
Yeah. Once again from the soul. This is my notebook. Let me rip you a page that'll make you sit back and witness the plague. Got kids pitching grenades, missing the days. Guess you can't be a star sitting in the shade. And at times, life will make you sicker than AIDS. Twisting the haze, laid out wishing you prayed. Working hard, no difference is made. In a world that'll kill you and spit in your grade. The best thing a parent can say to a child, success has no restriction for age. Or we might be another nigga twisting some braids in the penitentiary, spending some days. Bad choices, plus you know how niggas persuade. Them snakes got venomous ways. And the worst thing to a man is feeling betrayed. Head above water, still get hit with a wave. Still think of my queen, get hit with a daze. Still treat us no different than slaves. This world will take hearts and fill them with rage. Water seeds with hate and make them sit in a cage. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit. Nothing new under the sun. Shit ain't no different today. You know I can give up what your ministers say. I won't forget the past to remember the faith. As society takes souls and send them astray. Then it's the hate you got trapped deep in your heart. So in these times I fall back deep in the arts. Hidden colors, got a nigga seeking the ark. Sipping tea, watching devils pull people apart. I remember an old saying, reap what you sow. On your journey, stay humble and teach what you know. And this flow ain't the shit you see at the store. It's more like the goddamn killer that you greet at the door. Third eye be the seed of your soul. Such a beautiful earth these demons control. Gonna make shit better if I can, cause all over the world my empire stand. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit.
And y'all know it is. Y'all know it is. The world is on some bullshit, and we're going to cover some of that bullshit here today. Let me know in the comment section, do y'all want the World on Some Bullshit podcast? Where we open up with that song and we only deal with bullshit that's going on in the world. We about to start this show. Get ready. It's going to be a lit one. I got a lot for y'all, man. Let's go.
Bro Sanchez, just one who's out there in the fight to teach. Bro Sanchez, you got the story right, and now I see, yeah. Bro Sanchez.
Oh yeah, we gotta steal that idea. Oh yeah, you said world on some bullshit. I like how you did that. How you got the globe, then the board, and the shit emoji. You crazy for that. Hey, that's funny, but you giving me ideas because I need like a logo for the podcast. And I may fuck around and just put a big world right on top of a pile of bullshit. Just sit it right there on it. They know what that mean, right? Salutes to everybody in the chat room, man. We're going to get deep with this Charlie Kirk thing. I know my people want me to get back to the syncretism. I know y'all want me to get back to the life after death. I know you want me to get back to like the spiritual teachings and all that. But I gotta be balanced, y'all. I signed up for this. Everybody in my chat room is woke. We know a lot of knowledge about the Kundalini, the spiritual stuff. But I will say this, we don't know a lot of knowledge about day-to-day human affairs. And I think that the spiritual stuff make us put our head in the sand to the physical stuff. You're two parts. You're a soul and a body. You got to deal with both layers of reality, meaning the spiritual aspect and the physical aspect. When a lot of people get spiritual, they don't want to deal with the physical. They think dealing with the physical is a smack in their spiritual livelihood. They think that they're moving backwards when really, if you ain't dealing with both of them, you ain't dealing with neither of them. Because you're not just a spirit, you're a body too. Your spirit needs certain knowledge and your body needs certain knowledge. Your body has to operate in a world of racism. Your spirit don't. Your spirit is on a whole nother layer of reality outside of this BS that your body is going through. But you can't neglect neither, right? You care about your physical health and spiritual health, right? This is part of physical health when we deal with people's relationships in this country, race relations. You're not a spiritual person if you're not physically fit as well. Part of your spiritual journey is discipline, which is mastering the body. What good is it to have this powerful spiritual energy, but you ain't got no control over your body? The whole purpose of being spiritual is so that you can be physical better. Never forget that. That the whole purpose of being spiritual is so that I can operate in my body better. It don't do me no good to be spiritual in a world where I live in my body. I don't live in the spirit realm right now. I'm currently a soul having a human experience, and I want to explore the human experience. And you do so with conversations like this. You got to deal with the part of you that's human, as well as the part of you that is a soul. And the part of me that's human is a so-called black man that never had a fair shot in this country. And that right there have made my spiritual journey harder than the next man. How many of y'all can relate to that? Don't you know your physical experience also affects your spirituality? You would have a completely different spiritual experience right now if you had a completely different physical upbringing. You know that? But today I want to talk about our physical experience in this world. I want to ask some very deep questions about this Charlie Kirk thing. I wouldn't say these are deep questions. I don't even know why I said the word deep. I'm going to say controversial questions, tense questions. And you guys will be able to call in. In fact, let me go ahead and get that out the way and post that right now. So I ain't got to think about that. Let's just pin it. But like I was saying, today we're going to be asking some important questions to bring clarity to the chaos. And one of them is, was Charlie Kirk a racist? And the next one is, who's being more divisive, the left or the right? And another one is this MAGA versus MAGA violence? If so, what does it mean with the whole argument between the left and the right trying to blame it on each other? So let's get right into this real quick. We'll keep our eye on those call lines to see if there's anyone want to join. You may hear a couple random video clips of voices right now. It's because I'm going through my tabs.
You got an idea?
Right? And we're going to check out some of this stuff here. I really like Tim Osmond's take on this whole thing, Infinite Plane Society. I watched Infinite Plane Society show. I'm still finishing it, but I like his take on it. I want people to know something as well. I know this a psyop. I'm the dude, bro. You ain't gonna run a psyop that I don't know about. To all of you people saying Sanchez is a psyop, I know that. What you should be saying is, Sanchez, I don't like the way you're responding to the psyop, because I know that this is a psyop. This is the way that I chose to respond to the psyop to try to combat the psyop. If you think that my response is wrong or counterproductive, let me know. I can tweak my approach, man. Let me know. I think that what I'm doing is actually combating the psyop with this kind of content over here. So one thing I do want to point out too, before we get deep into the stream with answering these questions about Charlie Kirk, I want to share some news with y'all that a lot of people may not be privy of, and I'm gonna shut my mouth and run the clip. You let you hear the story yourself. 2 young black girls were stabbed to death from behind. I'm talking about they weren't even looking at it. They was minding their business. Next thing you know, you just feeling a knife go in you. They weren't even seeing. They didn't see it coming. So you got 2 black girls stabbed from behind on a train. Ain't nobody talking about that, but the white girl that got stabbed from behind on the train by the black boy was a big story. Let's hear about this one.
A verdict in the Nia Wilson trial. She's the young woman stabbed and killed on a BART platform. NBC Bay Area's Melissa Colorado joins us from the Oakland courthouse with the very latest with these breaking details. Melissa, what have we learned?
Jess, a lot of happy tears in that courtroom, a lot of relief. That is how the family members of Nia Wilson described the moment they heard that unanimous verdict from the jury. And you could tell it was a bittersweet moment for these family members who have been there in the courtroom practically every single day. They know this guilty verdict is not going to bring Nia Wilson back, their 18-year-old daughter, sister, but they know that this is going to bring them one step closer to closure. And it really did not take a lot of time for these 12 jurors to reach a unanimous decision. Less than 90 minutes ago, the jury convicted John Lee Cowell of first-degree murder in the fatal stabbing of 18-year-old Nia Wilson. Wilson was stabbed in the neck as she was getting off a BART train at the MacArthur station in Oakland back in July of 2018. Video
My bad, Ezekiel, I told you, man, I was muted, but what I was saying, I was reading your super chat. I said, appreciate you for being the first one. I said, your super chat making me blush, man. You said I'm the best to approach this. My approach is the best. Bro, that means a lot. Because I had to really do what's right, even though it catered to black people. I'm going to tell you why that mean a lot to me. I'm an integrationist. I'm for everyone, loving everyone. I'm not a separatist, right? I'm not for black people just being in a corner by themselves, not messing with no other groups. What I teach y'all is to judge who you be with by the frequency, like the content of the character, you know what I'm saying? But here's why this little story here is dear to me, because in this psyop, they're literally targeting black men specifically as the face of violence. Like right before Charlie Kirk died, he wanted America to know that we got to do something about black men and their violence. And then he was shot by a white man, and this country didn't bring up white on white violence. That right there made me say, okay, I got to go and tell the truth and talk about the right thing. So if you're white and you rock with me, then we know that you're not racist, because you know that this is an integrated channel, and I'm just going to speak the truth, not the black truth or the white truth, but the truth. So that's why a lot of people didn't like it when I went out to Carmelo Anthony. You know, a lot of black people didn't like that. But guess what? A lot of white people don't like that I'm going out to Charlie Kirk. What does this prove? I ain't on neither side. I'm on the side of what's right and the truth. And because of that, it often puts me in an island of my own where neither side wants you neither. You know what I'm saying? The white folks is like, if you ain't gonna all the way coon for us, we don't want you. And the black folks is like, if you ain't gonna be with us all the way, even when we're wrong, we don't want you. And I can't be with nobody when they wrong, fam. I gotta give y'all the truth. So That's what we're going to do here today. And part of doing that is pointing out things that a lot of people in America don't want pointed out, like the media bias, like how the media is painting the black man to be the face of violence, when we can say that white guys in this country are doing just as much murdering and killing. It just ain't being advertised and counted. You see, when they talk about gang violence, they automatically think about Crips, Bloods, and GDs, but they don't think about Aryan Brotherhood. They do not think about the white biker gangs. So there is a double standard in this country, and you pointing it out don't make you pro-black, it don't make you pro-white, it don't make you left or right, it don't make you part of the division. It just make you a person that's just pointing out the truth. Look at the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if the truth gonna set us free, then keep on pointing it out regardless of what they say, y'all. Let's see this news story that they're not covering. But they covered the Ukrainian woman, and rest in peace to her.
Video shown in court showed the gruesome stabbing caught on tape by BART security cameras. The jury also found Cowell guilty of attempted murder for stabbing Nia's sister Latifah. And Latifah Wilson was in the courtroom today and said she knew it was a good sign when she was told the jury had reached a verdict on John Lee Cowell so quickly.
It's overwhelming. Happy that Nia could rest at peace.
They was like, get to the courthouse, the verdict in.
I really want to put this story out, guys, before we get deep into the stream. I keep muting myself, but I wanted to tell Cooler Hand that I don't always pay attention to my chat, but I appreciate the compliment. I'm getting it together as a streamer. That's like a talent you gotta develop. Part of your multitasking, because you gotta pull your sources, pull your receipts. You gotta have your presentation ready. And then you gotta be paying attention to your chat, reading that and responding. In the case that I am not paying attention to my chat sometime though, don't crucify me, y'all. You don't have to put the tools out neither, because I did catch the fact that I was muted. I want y'all to really pay attention to this story of these two young black girls that were stabbed from behind. I'm not playing this, just to give you some shock factor. I want you to pay attention, because I'm going to cover the hypocrisies in these stories. I'm going to take it back, and I'll be right back to talk about it when the clip is finished.
A verdict in the Nia Wilson trial. She's the young woman stabbed and killed on a BART platform. NBC Bay Area's Melissa Colorado joins us from the Oakland courthouse with the very latest with these breaking details. Melissa, what have we learned?
Jess, a lot of happy tears in that courtroom, a lot of relief. That is how the family members of Nia Wilson described the moment they heard that unanimous verdict from the jury. And you can tell it was a bittersweet moment for these family members who have been there in the courtroom practically every single day. They know this guilty verdict is not going to bring Nia Wilson back, their 18-year-old daughter, sister, but they know that this is going to bring them one step closer to closure. And it really did not take a lot of time for these 12 jurors to reach a unanimous decision. Less than 90 minutes ago, the jury convicted John Lee Cowell of first-degree murder in the fatal stabbing of 18-year-old Nia Wilson. Wilson was stabbed in the neck as she was getting off a BART train at the MacArthur station in Oakland back in July of 2018. Video shown in court showed the gruesome stabbing caught on tape by BART security cameras. The jury also found Cowell guilty of attempted murder for stabbing Nia's sister Latifah. And Latifah Wilson was in the courtroom today and said she knew it was a good sign when she was told the jury had reached a verdict on John Lee Cowell so quickly.
It's overwhelming. Happy that Nia could rest at peace.
They was like, get to the courthouse, the verdict in. I'm like, you know, my heart was fluttering, stomach was shaking. I was trying to eat. I couldn't eat no more, you know. We got here, and I thank the good Lord, you know, for his many blessings.
And our cameras caught this pretty remarkable moment. The family broke out in cheers outside of this courthouse in Oakland when they chanted Nia's name over and over again. You can just see the happiness, but also a very bittersweet emotion on the faces of the family members of Nia Wilson. The jury also convicted Cowell of the special circumstances of lying in wait, which could make him eligible for life in prison without the possibility of parole. And here's what's happening tomorrow. The jurors and the judge must now determine if Cowell is sane enough to be sentenced. And we know that is going to be happening. It's going to be part of a hearing happening here tomorrow afternoon. That's the latest here in Oakland. I'm Melissa Colorado, NBC Bay Area News.
All right, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. And this story has been sent to me as an opposition or as a comparison to the recent stabbing of the Ukrainian lady by a black man, which President Trump addressed. Now, this happened in 2018, during which time President Trump was the president, where you see that monstrous animal, John Cowell, whatever his name is, stabbed two sisters on a light trip. He laid in wait. That means he spied on, he hawked them, he plotted on them.
The question is, does he have a history of mental illness? Because Carlos Brown did. Now, here go the point that I want to make about the hypocrisy. This story wasn't covered, and it happened under Trump. You had a similar story. It was over-covered under Trump when it was a white girl. But the whole big hypocrisy is the suspect in that stabbing had a history of mental illness that no one brought up on the news. They brought up black violence. And here go a white guy that kills two sisters. He don't have no history of mental illness, but they bring up mental illness in the story. Drop a one if you see what I'm saying with this. Now check this out. We finna get into the main title stuff now. The first question we want to ask is, was Charlie Kirk a racist? Was Charlie Kirk a racist? And a lot of people will say, no, man, Charlie Kirk wasn't a racist because Charlie Kirk didn't even believe in race. And that makes Charlie Kirk a racist because if Charlie Kirk don't believe in race, he can't use words like black violence. All right, let me see. Was Charlie Kirk a racist? Does anyone want to call in and answer that? So my answer is yes, he was a racist, and he was like one of the most dangerous kinds. And I'm going to show you why, because what is a racist by definition? Let's break it down. A racist is characterized by or showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. If you telling me that Charlie Kirk didn't do that, you're a blind fool. He showed prejudice toward the people who were a member of the particular racial group called black. He prejudged the entire race based upon what a few ignorant niggas did. Now, everybody know the white man is the one that created the proverb, one bad apple spoiled a whole bunch. Was he talking about himself though? Or was he putting that on indigenous people? Because the white man never let one bad apple spoil his whole bunch. When a white boy do something stupid, white America said they don't say we got to do something about white men and their violence. They said we got to do something about that crazy ass individual. If Charlie Kirk don't generalize with his own race, but he generalizes with black people and anybody he hate, and this is how you know I'm right. Charlie Kirk ain't the only one the right do this too. They doing it now. If they can prove that one leftist did a shooting, they blame it on all leftists. Just like when Cornel West was on the show with Piers Morgan, he was saying, listen, I don't mean you no harm. I don't want you dead. So why are you saying leftists want you out the way, or leftists are dangerous? See, it's the same mentality of the far right saying black men are dangerous. Black violence is out of hand. They like to group everybody in one bucket, but they don't want you to do that with white people. They don't want you to do that with the right. Charlie Kirk spent his whole career doing that. That's what he did. So that's my whole point right there. By the definition, he was. He did show prejudice against a particular racial group. Also, like when people say, tell me where Charlie Kirk lied, where did he lie at? Black people ain't saying he was telling lies on us. We was saying he ain't telling the truth on his own people. It ain't just what you saying, it's what you not saying too. So he wanted to kick the can on white violence all the way up until the point where he was murdered by a white man. And he died speaking on black violence. That was the hypocrisy. That's the lesson. So racism don't mean, like people may say, well, everything Charlie Kirk said about the black man was true. So why don't he tell the truth about the white man too? That the white man is a colonizer, the white man is a pillager, a crusader, invader. Why don't he tell the truth about systematic racism in the country? It ain't, see, when people hit me with well, he was telling the truth about black people, but he wasn't telling the truth about white people. We telling the truth about black people all the time. It ain't like black people ain't telling the truth about ourselves. We the most honest people. We would tell you, yeah, man, our hoods is fucked up. It's violent. We got it out. We'll admit that. We don't need the white man to help us tell the truth about ourselves. We need him to tell the truth about himself, like we doing. You see how that works? If everybody tell the truth about themselves, it'll set everyone free. Yeah, we don't need Charlie Kirk telling black people about our conditions, that is being perpetuated by systemic measures, systematic oppression. We got entire rap songs telling you about our condition. But what about the white man? When he ever gonna rap about how he was hanging us? Is he ever gonna put it out there that yes, and own up to his history and his conditions and the conditions that he created for others that he liked to talk about a lot, but not bringing up the fact he's responsible for those conditions? And I'll debate anybody on that. This is what racist does. You don't think that man was a racist because he didn't do nothing but tell the truth about black people. Yeah, when you tell the half truth, it's just like telling a lie. That's why when you go to court, they say you're going to tell the whole truth. Nothing but the truth. Telling the half truth is like telling a lie, y'all. It's just like you told a lie. Half truth. So was he a racist? Hell yeah. If you can't see that, you fell for a simple trick. You're green. And I think you want to be green. You want to be dumb as hell. And that's dangerous, man. We don't need niggas playing dumb, bro. Y'all know that man was racist. Another aspect of racist is just being for your race. Being for your race first. That's racism. That's practicing racism. If you saying, hey, I want my race on top, that's a form of racism as well. It ain't all just about being prejudiced and discriminating, because the whole concept of racism is if you want your people at the top, you got to discriminate. You got to be prejudiced. You got to make it harder for the other group and easier for yours. And that's when the systematic measures come in. So who's being more divisive with this story? Well, you got to think the right is using this to wage war against the left, to literally engage into a civil war. And the left is on the defense saying, listen, it wasn't even the leftist shooter. The guy was a MAGA. They finding out that the shooter was right wing and that he was MAGA. At first they thought he was left wing, but they was saying they can't prove no political affiliation. But what we need to be talking about is that the fact his mom and dad are registered Republicans, and that's what they raised, y'all. So those are my answers to the first and second question. I'm gonna put a poll up for y'all. You can deal with the first one. You hear? That's crazy. Yeah, Yeah.
All
That'll
right,
be
folks.
it. My head
This
mess around,
is
get the fight
a story
in
that I wanted to cover a couple days ago when it was a little bit more spicy, but I was not able to make the time for it in previous streams, so now we're covering it right now. A few days ago.
Yo, I want everyone to watch Barack Obama's speech on Charlie Kirk. When I tell you it is the most revolutionary shit, like Obama gained a lot of new respect with me. It proves something I've been telling y'all. When you president, you can't do what you want. But now that he ain't president, this man is talking like the Barack Obama that's from Chicago. So, let me see. Nah, Barack Obama was really, he was like, listen, what Trump is doing was dangerous, is using the White House power to get back in political debates. He's censoring and doing all that. And Barack is right. Like Trump is like, you got to think, Trump was a little rich white boy that never knew poverty. He's been taught to look at y'all like Goyim. Like real talk. Let me show you this. Barack Obama said some real shit. And you better believe that these far-right evil motherfuckers are mad at it. So, like, they really giving Barack a lot of flack for what he said when he didn't really say nothing wrong at all. He just said Trump shouldn't be using government agents and their resources. Like, you got a president that's targeting an American citizen for what they said with Jimmy Kimmel. And people said, well, it's the corporations, they do what they want to do. It ain't just the corporation of NBC, bro. It's the fact that the government agency, the FCC, pressured NBC. When people say, well, these corporations can do what they want to do, NBC didn't do what they want to do. They wanted to keep Jimmy Kimmel. The only reason they fired Jimmy is because Donald Trump pressured the FCC. That's a president using his presidential power against American citizens because he don't like what you said. That's a damn tyrant. Why ain't you focusing on some overseas issues or something important? When Barack was in office, he didn't give a damn about no American citizen talking shit about him. You think Barack Obama cared about some personality on TV talking about him as a black man who's president? He was too busy trying to prove he's worthy to be in that seat. He didn't have time to worry about who cracking a joke on me. What the fuck, you the president, man? And you not only watching that and worried about that, you're using your presidential power to do something about it, but you ain't got rid of the IRS yet. You ain't done shit about homelessness yet, but you using your presidential power to do something about your ego being hurt in a land of free speech, and your minions are gonna let you do it like it's okay, like they're defending some sort of, like, that's hate speech. Hate speech is still free speech. It is not called free love speech. It's called free speech, period. Meaning hate speech is covered by free speech too. So now the right want to be our parents and tell us what we can and can't say while acting like they're the most patriotic group. The most anti-American thing you can do is what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. Trump isn't an American. He's just a rich tyrant posing as a patriot. Ain't nothing American about Trump but capitalism. Let me say that again. Ain't nothing American about Trump but capitalism. So yeah. They're mad because Charlie Kirk, like Anton Daniels here, he's another coon. He's mad at Barack Obama because Barack Obama said, but Charlie Kirk's death was horrific, but. So that make you mad because he said, but after that? Yeah, but we don't got to honor him. What happened to him was wrong, but I don't got to make him out to be some fucking equivalent to Martin Luther King. So yeah, we gonna put a but behind it, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They can't find nothing wrong with what we saying, so they gotta be petty. We got a caller. And I think it's a sister. We're gonna let you on the call. Yeah, man, like I wouldn't mind watching Obama's video. Let me see.
I'm going to say, why is Obama?
He didn't burden the American.
Who are extremists and who say things that are contrary to what I believe are America's core values. But I will say that those extreme views were not in my White House.
See, we know that Barack Obama as a black man may have what we call sort of extreme views when it comes to white America, and that's true because they come out, just like in this interview. That's what made me respect Barack Obama, because I can still see the NIGGA in him in some of these interviews. Now watch this, right? You didn't see none of that black, pro-black stuff in the White House when Obama was president. It was to the point where black people started turning against Obama because Obama was trying to make it clear to America, yes, I'm a black president, but I'm not just going to cater to black people. I'm going to be in the White House and be equal. I'm a black man, but I'm not going to bring all of my pro-black ideologies in the White House. As American president, I'm gonna be a unbiased president, but as a black man, I'm gonna voice my opinion about white America. Now, you may not like Obama's approach to that, but I think it's honest. What he's saying is, if I become a black president and play the race card for my people, that's gonna open up the door for the white man to do what he already been doing when he get in the seat on steroids. Look at what Trump doing. Trump is a racist white man that is, you see all of his racist ideologies manifested in the White House. He's used all of his power to attack civil rights progress. He's passed executive orders to bring black people back, set us back. And he also, with the SB Bill 771, he's targeted freedom of speech because he's a tyrant. People who rock with Trump love that man more than they love America and the Constitution, and that's why this is going to become a dictatorship. Trump's personal ideologies are what we see being manifested in the White House, so much so that he got Jimmy Kimmel fired through the FCC because he's so into what us civilians are doing. He ain't even been a good president trying to see how to batter this country with foreign affairs. He's all about promoting civil war, surveilling American citizens. He's the dictatorship president that we all need to be scared of. We all need to rise up against this. And say what you want about Obama. He lost love with black people because he refused to promote his personal ideologies as a black man while being president. Trump, on the other hand, couldn't wait to become president so that he can push white supremacy. We do have a caller. Shout out to my sister Demi. Thank you for calling in. I thought we weren't gonna get a caller. Yeah, what you got for me, sister? You got it.
Yes, it's so mean. Yeah, I appreciate you having me, Brother Sanchez. I I think he was programmed to be racist, Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I think all of them are Neuralink. I know people probably think she's always saying Neuralink, but I mean, if you really look at it and if you really research that Neuralink thing, I mean, it's really been, ever since in the 90s, probably even before that. We have a population, a generations of Neuralinked up people, and it is everywhere in politics, in Hollywood, in the community. And I think we have to open our eyes
Say
and
one thing.
recognize that what's going on.
These gang members aren't Neuralink. You don't got a Neuralink to make someone be a racist. People will gladly be that in America. Look around you. People be divisive, without the Neuralink. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you don't need that to make a white man hate a black man in America. You don't need Neuralink. I'm just saying. But yeah, go ahead.
I hear you. That makes sense. But I mean, the Charlie. Did we know Charlie Kirk before this incident? Before he got into politics? What was his status before all of this? Oh, I'm saying, I mean, this Charlie Kirk, what was he always into politics previously before he got his position? Oh, from the jump.
I couldn't give you any other history from him other than politics. I couldn't give you food industry, NBA, none of that. All we know is turning point in politics.
Well, I did a simple gematria on his name, and one of his numbers was 105. And plus if you add that up, it's going to be 6. But it was 105, and then that's one of the same numbers that gematria has for the Neuralink is 105. So that's why I shouldn't say he was programmed to be racist, but he was programmed to do what he has done. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the thing about it, you got gang members that are programmed to do what they're doing too.
Well, I'm still okay. Well, the Neuralink. I mean, do you believe that he was Neuralink?
I believe that you'll never know who is or who isn't, but it's good to know that there are some people that is. But I think that you don't really gotta know who is or who isn't to understand a person's agenda. Once you know their agenda, it doesn't matter was this agenda programmed into them. It doesn't matter whether they stumbled on it themselves. It's their agenda. I mean, put it this way, right? If someone breaking in your house and they trying to take your life from you, their agenda is to take your life from you. Would you care? Would you care if someone hypnotized them to do that? Would you care if someone program them to do that? You just trying to protect your life, right?
Right, correct.
Right, so that's why I look at it from a survival standpoint. I really don't care if a killer was programmed or not. If they trying to kill me, you about to die, bro. Your programming gonna cost you your damn life. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Sanchez, if he's Neuralink, he ain't gonna die.
Right. Well, he gonna lose that body. You know what I'm saying? That one gonna be destroyed.
Correct. You're correct. But this race war and all these race agendas. Okay, let's say we got into a race war. I mean, what's the ending results they're trying to accomplish if we was in a race war? Is to kill all the black people or something? Or why is it so crucial, this race war that they're trying to start?
You can't bring forth the level of control that they want to bring forth without a civil war.
Mm.
They want martial law. They want civil unrest. They want to take away the rights of Americans. It ain't about black or white. It ain't about left or right. It's about Americans versus a dictatorship. You know.
Wow.
So
I feel like it's just. I just feel like it's just really. I mean, isn't that enough of how we are today and how the politics are run? Isn't that enough?
what enough for what?
I mean, it's always they always want something more. It's always something more.
Oh
They're
yeah,
never
you
satisfied.
just can't bring in martial law without a bunch of shit hitting the fan. So you
Right.
gonna need more. You gonna need more. In other words, if you want to burn the house down, you gonna need more gas.
Exactly. Okay, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
So salutes to Sacred No Ledge. What's good? Yeah, we'll just
So did you see? I'm not trying to change the subject, but did you see when
Hello?
they talk? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. My
Go
bad.
ahead.
I just want to say, yo, excuse me. I agree with her because I know about this Neurolink thing. Like, let's just say, like, talk like it's a science fiction movie. Imagine if you get linked in when you're a baby, you know, and you like the abduction thing, and then they put the chips in you, and you've been monitored. Your thoughts
yeah,
have been
none of that
monitored.
don't matter though, for real.
Yeah.
No,
It's irrelevant.
well, that's what I'm saying is that that's how that's actually how it works. I know it because I've been on that for a minute, and it became
Oh yeah,
apparent to me in the last few years, you know, that I'm on that Neuralink
there's
thing,
definitely some people that's Neuralink.
and they got different types of programming. Like they got Messiah programming, they got what they call kitty cat programming, the different types of MK Ultra, and it's all Neuralinked. So yeah, the AI is behind all that, and it can plan things out way before we even were born. Is planning things out. Then we come in, and all we see is a quick like a glimpse of all the shit that it's been planning and manifesting for for years and years, like hundreds and thousands of years probably. So yeah, I agree. These people are mind controlled, but you're right. It doesn't matter because they'll kill you, and you can't stop them. It's just good to know how to avoid it and to see the signs. You know that these people, they got no empathy because there's mostly AI controlling them.
I just be wanting my community to understand context, right? Understand context. Understand, it's a time and place for everything. Me personally, I think it's kind of out of touch and out of place to engage in a Neuralink conversation right now with this with what's going on. Yeah, me personally. But I'm gonna leave the floor open to Nasir and to Q. Welcome to the bill, and to Young Tally.
What's happening, bro? Hey, Sanchez, I got some smoke for you on Obama.
Okay.
See, we got to look at this from the aspect of how did Trump get on the political scene as a Republican. He pushed the birther thing on Obama.
The birther? What do you
The
mean?
birther. He
Break
went.
that down.
He they were saying Obama wasn't a citizen of the United States. He was born somewhere else.
Right.
So Trump sent people to find his birth certificate, paid people to go to Hawaii and all this stuff. Okay. So Obama makes a public statement and calls him a carnival barker. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember the beef, but I don't remember the exact what they were saying.
He called him a carnival barker. He said you can't go around listening to carnival barkers, right?
And what is that though?
Somebody who just like at a carnival, go step right up,
Okay, yeah.
I got you. Look at the freak, that's so he's calling Trump a carnival barker. So when you look at it, he gave Trump his political clout with the Republicans because, you know, Trump was a Democrat for 30 years. So he comes out and gives him his political clout with the Republicans. So then after that, you know, in his administration, Obama used the executive order at the time, which he's a constitutional lawyer. So he knew how to circumvent the Constitution. Trump is not smart enough to write laws to circumvent the Constitution. See what I'm saying? There is no Trump without Obama because Trump can't use the he doesn't have the expertise.
What are you
But
saying?
when
Obama is assisting him or something? I don't know what you
Obama has assisted him. That's why we have all of this dictator type stuff going on. Because he like you the blueprint. You like you was the president. All your presidential actions have all been logged. So Trump can go in and look how you did this law and how you did this because all of this stuff is recorded. So he could go in. He's not smart enough to do it. But now that he's had a person who can show him the example how to do it and how it's done, now he's doing it. Now he can try to do all this dictator stuff. That's all Obama's fault. That ain't, you know, them talking and all of them on the same gang is still two wings of the same bird.
Okay, I got a little smoke for that, and it's real short.
Hold up, Q. Let me give a shout out to my brother AM1 for the super chat. He said the word racist is thrown around so much that it hardly has any real meaning or weight. People just assign it to anything without much nuance. I must agree with that. I gotta agree with
Peace,
that.
bro. Sanchez. How you doing, brother?
Peace and love, Nasir. Thank you for
How you
joining,
doing?
bro, for sure. Shout out to
Yes,
you,
sir, brother.
Q. You got it.
Shout out to you, brother. Real quick because I'm at work.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
We have to follow the money when it comes to Turning Point USA because Turning Point USA was not Charlie Kirk's brainchild. It's his donors' brainchild to push their propaganda and their agenda. This is what they've always done. They'll find somebody, fund them, and send them around the country to propagate their propaganda. All we have to do is find out who the donors are, and that's the brainchild of Turning Point USA.
Yeah.
That's simple.
That's
because
true.
that's not his brain. That he didn't create Turning Point USA.
I
He
wonder
went
how
and they gave him a script. They gave him a script that he strayed away from. That's what caused problems for him when he strayed away from the script that they gave him. And AIPAC is a part of it. Remember your man. I'm telling you this, brother. Your Brandon Tatum got in bed with those people. And he's next. He's next. I'm not wishing nothing on him. If only way he's going to remain safe if he stick to what they tell him to do. Because you can't take money from them and you can't, you know, they're telling you to come to the Hamptons, they're telling you to come to Israel and you say you're not doing it. There's no I'm not doing something after you took money for those people. You're forever their whore. You're forever their whore when you take money from them. That's how it goes. And they do it with the entertainers. You see what happened.
So there is some truth to the fact that he may have been unalive through his own discipline, not doing right with his own cabal.
Yes. A lot of validity to that. Because you can't take money from those people and say you're not going to do something.
For real.
That's blood ties. Blood in, blood out. Blood in, blood out.
Hey, and we all know that they don't play about killing their own. If they do it to JFK, they'll do it to him.
They don't care nothing about killing.
That's why
people,
we know.
Period.
And Right. That's how you know that Trump is playing by the script that they got laid out for him, because he ain't coming up dead. And the thing is, like, I want to remind the other brother that had the smoke for Obama. At the end of the day, we're not gonna blame none of what's happening on Obama, because he ain't the person that's funding all of this shit and pushing the strings. One.
Exactly.
Two, at the end of the day,
he's a sock puppet too, and a hand
right,
puppet.
right. So at the end of the day, we gotta remember this is gonna be a funny conversation, whether it be awkward or hilarious, when they all get together and wear them same robes or whatever at the same G4 summit that they all go to over there and take them pictures and shit together. It's like at the end of the day, nigga, we all family.
Tell them.
It's blood in and blood out. He didn't said it. And it's just like, Obama is just as much as blood as that nigga is. Maybe a little bit more half, because of the, half his father being Kenyan, but blood nonetheless.
Yeah.
See, Donald Trump got into politics. He even said back when he was a Democrat that I could run as a Republican, and they're stupid enough to support me. You can go back and find that. I don't know who he was talking to at that time.
Yeah,
but
he did say that. He did say that shit.
They're stupid enough to support me if I run as a Republican.
He definitely said that shit.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'll I guess if don't nobody want to interject here, I can go to another clip or whatever. But salutes to the panel, man.
My brother, I'll be back up. I'm at work. I just had to take a break and come and chop it with you real quick.
Most definitely, man. We looking forward to you, man. Appreciate you for real.
No doubt, my brother. Peace and power.
Peace and fear.
Yeah, peace, broski.
Peace and power. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Play this audio for y'all. See. Matter of fact, I can't go into this one yet. I gotta wait. I'll let y'all know in a minute why I gotta wait. But
I was gonna say, which one was that?
It's gonna turn up the stream when I play it. I ain't gonna play it yet though. But we'll play this one though. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that one.
Perfect.
Is an incredible American. I think
so. What we finna hear now is Trump defends the FCC after Senator Ted Cruz criticized him, with the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. They said that the Jimmy Kimmel, what he said was unbelievably dangerous. Let's listen.
Brendan Carr is an incredible American patriot with courage. It used to be, I remember in the old days that networks would have to get licensed, relicensed, and it was always a big deal. They had to show honesty and integrity. When you have a network, again, I'll use the same numbers, whether it's 90 or 94 and 97, all different numbers, but
I agree. To Rebel, they're all actors. Yep. Literally, Trump was an actor. They're all actors, man. You got to be an actor to some degree to be a politician. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of be, yeah.
If people don't remember the damn skits Obama and Joe Biden did together, that was hilarious.
Oh, Obama and Joe Biden did skits. Okay.
Yeah, them niggas actually have comedic chop in acting timing. So you're not gonna tell me, right, like you said, they ain't actors. And this was before all the AI shit.
Yeah, that's fact.
When you have networks that give somebody 97% bad publicity or 94% bad publicity, I think that's dishonesty. And they're getting free airwaves, right? You know that, right? You get them for nothing. These airwaves, they make millions and millions of dollars. The news makes millions of dollars. ABC, your network. Your network wrote very badly about me, and they had to pay me $16 million.
So you think you have a right, or that Brendan Carr has a right to take away the license?
I think Brendan Carr is a courageous person. I think Brendan Carr doesn't like to see the airwaves be used illegally and incorrectly and purposely horribly.
I wonder, is he going to tell us how the airwaves are being used illegally? Because you can't use them incorrectly. Like these words are very weird, illegally
Isn't it?
incorrect. Like what instead of saying stuff I don't like over them. You know what I mean?
Does it like to see a person that won the election in a landslide get 97% bad publicity before the election? I mean, it's a...
Okay, see, this is all about I'm getting bad publicity on these particular platforms. But that's been a problem in America, to where you have liberal platforms and you have conservative. You have your left-wing platforms, your right-wing platforms, and the left-wing platforms cater to the liberal stances. The right-wing platforms cater to the Republican stances. No one is looking at down the middle, that both sides got some truth. Neither side got all the answers. And it's just, America is a house divided. So the whole thing is like, Trump complaining about the liberal platforms being negative of him, but both sides do it. It's just a norm. It's been going on. It's just that now that he's president, he can literally use his power to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? To say, hey, you liberal platforms, put some pressure on y'all talking about me. And then the conversation now will have to shift to, is this tyrannical? Is this like sort of on some dictatorship type stuff? I think that'll be a good bill, what that would lead to with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely some dictator type deal. That's straight out of Nazi Germany. What he doing? That's straight out the Nazi Germany.
Yeah, on the real.
That's straight out of Nazi Germany.
It is, and it's like I was chilling with my mama this morning, and she'd be watching The View and all of that type of stuff. And one of the ladies on there, I want to say the one that's like Nicaraguan or something.
I hate The View.
Like,
I hate
man,
The
me
View.
too. I'm just like my mom. I'm just in there talking to her shit. And it's just on. I'm like, here we go. She said that in Nicaragua, whether it was a dictatorship or the left or the right, it was the same shit. And that's exactly what this is turning into if people don't stop that shit. And I'm like, nonetheless, she told the truth with that shit. I'm like, yeah, it's like it's already a reality to people in other places. And when you come from that, it's a lot more realer to feel and see when you see it happening to somebody else in slow motion. But you get it.
That's facts, though. Good,
My brother,
good stuff,
this
man.
is just a joke, man. I think you was watching The View, not your mom's. Just a joke.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I'm lost.
I'll play this. I'm gonna finish the video for y'all. Shout out to you, Rabbit Man. How you doing? You got a little background feedback, so we're gonna mute you, but we're gonna play the video real quick.
Amazing that I won the election with that, but here's what happened. The people have given your networks no credibility. They don't give them any credibility, John. If they did, they wouldn't vote for me. They wouldn't have voted for me. When you look at, you could also say the liberal media, the liberal left, when you look at these stories and papers, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about, I assume you're talking mostly about the networks, but they have a licensing procedure, and you can read it as well. They have to show honesty and integrity. And when they take a good, well, I think the people just.
That's kind of weird too. Like, you're saying that under the Federal Communications Commission, a network with a license has an obligation to be 100% honest. But isn't that contradictory to the Smith-Mundt Act that Barack Obama passed, that gives media outlets the right to basically lie for you? Anybody familiar with the Smith-Mundt Act? I'm speaking over y'all heads. My bad. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Let me share something with y'all here. The Smith-Mundt Act, more formally known as the United States Information and Educational Exchange Act of 1948, was a Cold War era law that established public diplomacy programs to broadcast information abroad. Its key feature was a provision prohibiting the U.S. government from disseminating its domestically produced media to the American public. The domestic dissemination ban. Purpose. The restriction was originally intended to prevent the government from using taxpayer money to propagandize its own citizens. Wow. Coming soon after the defeat of totalitarian regimes during World War II, the measure was designed to provide a check on government power and protect the public from state-sponsored influence programs. Stop right there, y'all. They talking about they want to protect you from state-sponsored propaganda and all that, but it's really to censor you. This is a very, like, if you really break this down, the original law applied to the State Department and its designated agencies, including the U.S. Information Agency, and later the BBG, the Broadcasting Board of Governors. It affected outlets like the Voice of America, which was created to deliver U.S. perspectives to foreign audiences. So this, I mean, this is like a little rough summary of it, but I really would like to get into the real act. And but yeah, I brought this
Bro
up.
Sanchez, you notice that it says state sponsored. They didn't say corporate.
Yeah.
They didn't say corporate. So that goes back to what you talked about. I think you said something about it yesterday about the corporations not having to adhere to the Constitution, that they can circumvent the laws and do whatever they want to do, but still operate and make money in the United States. So then you have corporate media. So he signed an act into where that the state can't propaganda you, but a corporation can. The corporation can lie to you, but the state can't lie to you. Yeah, so anybody, like, we had corporate media. Corporate media, Fox and all these people have corporate sponsors. They can tell lies to you, but the state can't. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. They said it basically was intended to make sure that the State Department and other agencies weren't running propaganda campaigns on the American public. That's kind of crazy right there. But yeah, this law right here, to me, it contradicts. And my thing is this right here. Is lying free speech? Because that's a deep one. Like, if hate speech is free speech, is it okay for someone to lie on a public platform? In other words, if I start policing liars, will that open up the door to policing other forms of free speech? Because I'm going to tell you, in a natural world, it's every human responsibility to do your due diligence to make sure that a liar can't lie to you. But it ain't the government's job to go around policing who's lying or not, if you ask me. It's your job for you to grow up, be mature, and question everything, make people prove stuff. Like, if a liar lie to you and scam you, to me, it's a lesson you gotta learn. You fail for it. And I wouldn't, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we need a lie police, me personally, authority to say, even on media. Because think about it, we're lied to all the time by the government, by different media outlets. And guess what? No one does nothing about it, because it's your responsibility to prove this stuff. It's your responsibility to screen it, to examine it before you just accept it. It's people that they're gonna lie to you every day, try to scam you, and you can't do nothing about it but just not fall for it. No one's never policed lying. Maybe you know what I'm saying, but I mean, it ain't like we live in a court of law under oath, right? We may say lying is very despicable, just like hate speech is, but you know, it is free speech. I know, yeah. So I don't know if maybe some of them may have pushback at that.
I do, because lying can be weaponized, which it has. You can weaponize like black people.
I agree with that, but I still don't think it should be policed.
But you gotta think it shouldn't be policed, but it has to be default against. You can't like let a lie just. I mean, that's how Nazi Germany came about.
I think you misinterpreted what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: lying can be weaponized. And if you got a group of people that's going around saying, let me protect you from the liar, that ain't the solution. The solution is to create more smarter people that don't fall for lies. Don't you know that if no one was dumb enough to be scammed, scammers wouldn't exist? So yeah, I'm glad that the police lock up these scammers. But guess what? There's still a lot of people out there that are victims of scam. So many, and they happen to old people as well who don't understand the internet. So yeah, let's lock up the scammers, but let's create places where we educate people on how to look for scams. Because if we get enough people that don't fall for scams, people will stop scamming, believe it or not. So I get you. I mean, my first approach ain't to let's bring a mom and daddy to police us with this. You know,
I understand the policing part, but the thing about it is, like, we've seen the damage of lies that's not been. People don't have the power to just fight them or disprove them, or just don't even have the media apparatus.
So guess what the solution is? Get the power to disprove them. You see, the thing is, if somebody lie to me, it's stupid for me to call the police. But it looks very better if I'm able to tell that liar, hey, I'm smarter than that, bro. That don't work with me. I can see clean through your lie. Try somebody else. See, I'm saying let's have a kind of world like that versus mommy, daddy, he lied to me, beat him up. That's I'm agreeing with you that lying can be weaponized. I'm saying it's your responsibility, young Tally, not mine. It ain't my responsibility to beat a liar up because he lied to you. It's your responsibility to be able to prove these lies wrong and not fall for bullshit.
I understand that, but this what I'm leading to. They said Trump told how many lies? What, thousands of lies, right?
Did you fall for it?
I'm smart enough not to fall for his lies.
Now we need people that's smart like you. When you agree, because dumbasses fall for it, right?
It's millions of them.
So we don't want to ignore the fact that these people are dumber than you. We want to raise them up to your level, young Tally, so they don't fall for it like you didn't fall for it. We don't need a police. We need teachers. We need people like you to open up their eyes and let them see, oh yeah, man, okay. Because that's the only way that's really gonna be the way you combat the liars. You can't lie to people that can see through your bullshit. So the answer is always to open people's eyes to the lies versus keep them blind and just beat up the liar.
I wouldn't say that we need to police lies. Like you say, but I know there's been a campaign to dumb down America going on 30 years. So that's why a lot of people are not smart. You know, it ain't like it's not really, it's their fault. But then at the same time, when people are putting resources into trying to make people ignorant and dumb,
I see where you're going.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to bring you back to where we was, how this opened up. We opened up saying, listen, lies are a problem, but whose responsibility? Is it Trump's responsibility to do something about people lying to you, or is it yours? That's where we need to go with this bill. I'm saying it's yours, not Trump's.
Yes, it's not. It's up to the person to believe what they want to believe. My thing is that we in a society where we've been
You can't speak.
basically
This is what I'm saying. Let's not speak as a society. I'm talking about you and me right now.
individually. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. That's me. I'm not. I'm not
Okay,
every
so
person. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look
that's what I'm
behind the curtain.
saying. You're not every person, so let's not speak for the whole. That's what I'm telling you is that if you feel like, damn, most of the world ain't got common sense to see through the lies, what's your solution to that? Give them the common sense, right? Simple, right?
If they open to receive it.
We ain't
common
worry
sense ain't
about
so
that.
common.
No. But you're doing too much. Listen to the question, brother. You making this longer than it gotta be. I ain't asking you whether they want to receive it or not. I'm asking you, are you willing to teach it or not? Because a teacher in the classroom know that every student ain't gonna receive it, but they still gonna get up every day teaching, brother. You running this too far. Like, you see what I'm saying? Let me just go ahead and conclude this whole exchange. We don't need to be police for lies. We need to give knowledge, because that's power, not more authority, not more big brother looking over our shoulder. That's it.
Yeah, we don't need them at all, man. You know, that's the facade right there. They say we need a government. We don't need them. That's a way for them to pry into our private lives and do what the hell they want to do. Hey, but if y'all did any research on Charlie's wife, man, boy, she got a lot of stuff she been doing. She was a model for Trump before, and so she was rich before she even met him. So this whole thing with Charlie, they built him up for something, and he didn't come through, and so that's why they had to take him out. That young boy didn't take him out. That's the front piece. America never tells you the truth.
And that's what I've been saying the whole time, bro. That's why when people see my motherfucking status, I was like, man, free that little young nigga. G. Motherfucker ain't did shit.
And look, why Charlie's wife got up there on stage with Trump, and he made her throw up the devil sign, except she didn't tuck her little finger in, on the end like they usually do. And then all the people on the post talk about, oh, that means love in sign language. Man, that ain't what she was doing it for. But she tied in with Trump in some kind of money situation. They said she might run for vice president too. So this whole thing is a show, man, and people ain't gonna really catch on to it. But it's crazy. It's crazy. That's all I can say. I'm gonna fall back for right now, though.
What's good? Real truth, real growth. Salutes. I'm gonna leave the floor open for more people as well. Y'all go ahead.
Hey, yeah, good day, my brother.
Say something real quick. Hey, this is two rebel nomads over here, husband and wife checking in. You know how we do. Hey, I just wanted to digress just for a second about what he was saying about the corporations and the government or the state being, like one can lie and one can't or whatever. And I just wanted to touch up on the fact that the state is a corporation. Every state is incorporated. And you could just Google this and you'll find out for yourself that they're all corporations. There is nothing that they have that is not a systemic corporation, part of that same scheme. All right, that's all. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, it's definitely corporation because they took over our ancestors' land, which we had it renamed, by our tribe names or our nation name. And that's when they divided everything and incorporated everything. But go ahead, Demi.
Oh no. Well, the devil doesn't lie. First of all, the devil does not lie. And
First, Sanchez, find research on Charlie Kirk's grandfather.
Hold on, Rabbit Man, you cut her off. Go ahead, Demi.
Oh no, I was just saying everything that went down, it still should have been protected by the First Amendment. I could say right now, Charlie Kirk deserves to die. I'm still protected under the First Amendment.
I want
So,
everybody
you
to
know,
start. I want everybody to start understanding this. All that stuff they gave us, First Amendment, Second Amendment, all that stuff, they're not going by the rules. That's just for us to think that we have. It's the illusion of inclusion. We're not included in what they're doing. They're actually bankrupting us. They're robbing us. They're taking our money to other countries. They're making deals. 247 officials just went to Israel. So our amendments don't count. Our amendments
Isn't that
don't count.
because we're citizens, though?
We can't hear you.
Isn't that because we choose to be part of that system by choosing
No,
to agree, use their social and all that?
It's because we're indoctrinated inside of a system that we haven't broken out of as a collective. So you're still in this system. So that's what the system is until it's broken. We're still prisoners of war.
Right, but if we, you know how some people are on the whole redemption process movement and stuff, right? So we got to cancel your social and all of that and stop letting them use your, you know, your social security and your title and all of that. And I'm not trying to go down that path, but I'm talking about truth here. So we know that this is a fact, that they've been manipulating us with the all capital letter name and all that stuff there. That's a state too. Your name is a state, right? So, you know, I feel like if we pay attention to some of those details, which are the real problem, where the problem lies, because that's where they connect us to their system.
Listen, this the real truth right here, right? Listen, this the real truth about the whole thing. The only thing left for us right now, and it's just gonna be right and exact and direct. The only thing left for us now is revolution, and we ain't ready for it. That's the bottom line.
We ain't ready over here.
That's the bottom line. We're not ready for revolution, but that's the only thing that's gonna attack this. If you think about it, you just had a whole system that I don't want to say the word, but jabbed everybody across the whole plane, and they still in existence. That same
Somebody need to
system,
mute their mic because they echoing while you talking, bro.
yeah, that whole system is still in place, intact, and we know what they did to everybody, right? All the information is coming out, but have they been removed? Have they been stopped? No, they're still doing what they're supposed to do, right? I heard a report where it says, okay, the reason why all this stuff is going on because Israel been gaining all this information on all these officials, so they got something on them. So now that's why they're able to play them as puppets and make them do what they need them to do. The people need to come together and kick all them out. Israel, we ain't got nothing to do with these people. Okay? We need our own team in there. These are the scammers. Y'all got caught doing some stupid stuff with the children and all this other stuff y'all been doing. Man, y'all rotten. Get out. Y'all don't represent the people. And that's what needs to happen. Revolution. That's it. Yeah.
I would definitely say we need a revolution. But I would say at this point right here, we need a revelation. I think that if we have a revelation, we won't even need a revolution. Because look, the best way to revolt in a world of lies is to reveal. The best way to revolt is to reveal.
And how do we do that when they control the media? I mean, we do it
That's
the
hell of
best
a
we
mic
can,
drop,
like on
bro.
your channels, like on your channel, right? We can't get everybody to.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry, but I just got to drop something on the Brother Sanchez is saying that we need a revelation. And yeah, we do. We need to go to the very things that they have us connected to, which is our health and our education and all those things. And it goes deeper. And yeah, all I had to do was look up who discovered the hospital, who discovered the word discovery. Like my husband was saying the other day, it's all a cover up. But peace, that's it.
Yeah, that was deep. That was deep what you just said. I mean, but it's either or. And when would the people get ready? And then, we know these people are already years ahead of us. They've been programming us all our life. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Jetsons cartoon, right? They've been programming us to have a robot taking care of our household, children, and flying cars and all this stuff, man. It's like a game. They're just toying with us. But these people that are making moves now, you know, the people that got everybody going to the wall, man, they vicious, bro, and they create the narrative. Where?
Let me ask you something, bro. So if we're trying to like go around and you know how some people are like Bro Sanchez, they have these channels, but we're not all, you know, we don't all have these special skills like him, right? But still, we're trying to do the work and spread the word and link up with people. But I tell you, bro, from Florida to Washington, from Cali to Maine, and everywhere in between, we do that, and people don't want to hear that shit, bro. People don't want to hear it, and even when they do, it's like yes, man. You know, they're just pretending. They're just going along. Like, oh shit, that shit makes sense. Yeah, that's cool, but I gotta get back to go and watch the game now and eat my chicken. Yeah. You know? So it's like, oh damn, just wasted all our energy because we thought you was seeing this shit. You don't. And so now what do we do?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, you know, it starts at the house, and change starts in the mind, and it's hard. It's hard to get people to even think about them having to deprogram themselves. They don't understand that. It's like no matter what you tell some people. Also, I think with this jab, like they said, you've been cut off from your God self. Like that makes it even more harder. People are. You can notice now after people got that thing, man. It's just they are weird. They just don't think, man. It just don't register to them. So we're in big trouble. That's all I can say. I can listen to all the right information, and I can say that on this channel with Bro Sanchez since 2016, man. Bro, you know where we think, right? How we think. Well, a majority of us or some of us that come on this show, but you can go back and give these people all the stuff, all the right information, and they don't want to be involved or they just don't catch on.
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody got their own story. You see, the thing is, why we woke, we follow in our story. You can't force nobody to turn ahead of the page. Them right now, them like on page 7. We on page 97. You know what I mean? We ahead. So you know what I mean? Just like with Sanchez Cheech, everybody is like a caterpillar. Everybody gotta wait on their own time to wake up. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. You know, them time gonna come.
Well, time doesn't wait for nobody. That's for sure. And my personal conclusion to end it for me is that all of this stuff it just falls behind the Epstein case. That just makes sense. More logical for me. All of this stems from the Epstein case. Everybody knows that Kirk was pushing Trump to release these Epstein's files. Okay, so that's what did it. Just it's similar to what Nasir was saying. But I mean, you know, we can go ahead.
It's even more than that. When you think about it, the Great Reset, right? They knew that.
Hold on for 1 second. I gotta make an announcement real quick. Sorry, y'all. AM1, I haven't forgot about the super chat. I am gonna get to it. I can't address it right now. I'll let y'all know the reasons later. But yeah, I wanted to talk about if the FCC was trying to use this to censor free speech. What's his name? I forgot this dude name. Damn it. I can't think of his name for nothing right now. Tucker Carlson. Yeah. He was saying that he was hoping that they don't use this to, you know, start to activate the FCC to start censoring free speech. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying how some people were saying hate speech is still free speech and all that, you know, stuff. But I'm gonna play this for y'all because what we found out is that the dude that's over the FCC that censored Jimmy Kimmel once was an advocate for free speech and was saying that the government shouldn't censor speech. So he changed. He changed it. And remember that the people that censored Jimmy Kimmel, they didn't necessarily want to do it. They was pressured by Donald Trump to do it. So, you know, a lot of people may say, well, a lot of people may say, you know, these corporations get to do what they want to do. But in the case of Jimmy Kimmel, it ain't really what they wanted to do. It's just what they was bullied to do, if you want the truth about the matter. And then the question is, where's that taking us if you have a president that is willing to use his presidential power to get back at, you know, radio personalities, little civilians with their, I think
Bro, Sanchez, can I drop something before you play the clip?
Yeah, salute. Hey, welcome back, George Macon, and to everyone joining, man. Salutes to y'all for sure.
Hey,
y'all
did you get what I sent, Sanchez, earlier?
Oh no, I ain't. When you sent to my email?
No, I text you. I know,
okay. I got you.
Just came up to tell you. I text you a video of some white MAGA guys. They made a video about lynching black people, and they playing it all over social media right now. But they did it in response to Charlie Kirk's killing, but they directed it towards black people. It's in your text messages, and I sent you that. I sent you that Charlie Kirk getting beat by the white boy in the debate. He got crushed. I sent you where you can go over it.
Okay. Yeah, I got him queued up now.
All right.
Peace, my brother.
Yeah, let's do that right now.
I can't do it now. Give me a minute. Hold on. Give me a minute. Someone told me don't steer this away from Epstein again. I was talking about Epstein when it wasn't popular. I'd be ahead of the wave. Y'all be late as hell.
Right.
When people was riding the Trump wave, I was bringing up his connections with Epstein and Puff Daddy. So now that he's in office, y'all want to bring it up. I was bringing it up when he wasn't even in office. Y'all be late as hell. You gonna talk about why? Because it's trendy.
Damn right.
It's trendy now.
My brother, I have a question. If you would.
Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think that the Israeli minister of affairs said that the number one threat to black youth, to Israel, is American black youth?
Wow.
That's what she said. She said the number one threat to Israel is American black youth, and it ties into black fatigue. It's not that we're this out of control, murderous.
Hey, who said that, brother? I'm sorry. Who said this? I came in late.
Yeah, good question. The Israeli minister of affairs, Israeli affairs minister said it. She said it. I forgot her name. I got it written down in my office. But
she said that a while ago.
She said the number one threat to Israel is America black youth.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
And that's because she see their potential if they get their minds right. She see that. A lot of people say, "Oh, how could it happen?" No, she see that they have potential, and they are the warriors. And if they get their mind right and learn who the enemy is, and anybody who serves to our detriment will have problems. And it also ties with black fatigue. Black fatigue, I'm going to tell you how I feel about black fatigue. Black fatigue is not what a lot of people say it is. Like they're just tired of us because our behavior. No, black fatigue is they tried every damn thing to destroy us, and they can't. We won't lay down. They can't destroy us despite everything they did, and they tired as hell. And they use the only one thing that they have left. The only thing they have left, Charlie Kirk used all the time. And that's the way we treat each other. Donald Trump used it. The way we treat each other. Every time we go to them about what they do to us or how they treat us, what do they say? They pull Chicago out their ass. They pull Baltimore out their ass. Everywhere else we're at, you know what I'm saying? They'll
Exactly.
pull that out their ass and they'll say, well, look at the way you treat each other. That's the only thing they have to use against us because they tried everything else and they have black fatigue because
My
they
thing
just
is,
can't
it's
destroy us.
2025, broski, and these niggas still got sundown towns. Stop acting like you motherfuckers ain't practicing shit that y'all been practicing still to this day. If it's niggas still getting
Exactly.
hung and found on trees and all that type of shit, if anything, it's more white fatigue around the world than just in America
Oh yeah,
alone.
definitely. Because
And
if
also,
let me do something real quick.
Matter of fact, hold on. And before I even do that, I want to say,
One mic.
and not just that,
Oh,
animals
that
is
was
even fatigued to
crazy,
white
Nasir.
folks.
That was crazy.
Even the goddamn animals got white fatigue. God damn it.
Yeah. Hey, Tranquil, let me get a mic check from you real quick just to make sure you know everything copacetic. Tranquil, let me get hit the mic button and let me hear from you, Tranquil.
Hey, I'm here. And I'm a white guy too, so, you know, all that fatigue.
Okay. I was just making sure you know your account was legit or whatever.
Yeah, I am.
All right, so I'm gonna let y'all hear it from the horse's mouth. I found the clip he's talking about, and we can move on.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
You know, I wonder why Israel's biggest problem
and it's kind of muffled a bit, but can you hear it?
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
There's better copies of that too.
That was it. She says with the young generation of the black community. Okay, I hear it. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard it, but
I heard it, but I thought you must stop.
Yeah.
Hey, Sanchez, can I say something? I want to see when we go back to William Buckley and Rush Limbaugh. William Buckley was more of the intellectual conservative with intellectual racism, trying to intellectualize why they had the sovereign right to govern over the world and white and black people and everybody. Rush Limbaugh was more he had the more populist confrontational approach, right? So when you look at the Rush Limbaugh and then you look at Turning Point USA, which was funded by Bill Montgomery and Bernie, what the hell was his name? Bernie Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Billionaire Jews, right? Bill Montgomery took him under his wing out of college. That's why he didn't graduate and gave him $4 million to start it. And at first, they wasn't even on black issues. They was going in on like politics and stuff like that. It had nothing to do with the black. He saw that wasn't working, so they took the Rush Limbaugh approach, and that's when he started going in on black topics. But Candace Owens was very important and early on because some of the topics that they were talking that he would bring up, he couldn't do it without Candace Owens sitting next to him in his early stages. That's why she came busted out and was using all them crazy ass talking points. But
yes, sir.
But I'm saying all that to say that when that Jewish person make that statement about young black Americans, they're the ones that's been funding these talking points from behind the scenes from the door. They are the direct funders of Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk spreading this stuff.
That's what I said earlier. That's what I said earlier. I said that earlier. You got to follow that money. They have the intellectual, and what you just pointed out, brother George, was real significant because Rush Limbaugh, he represented the modern day Bull Connor from the 60s. He had that mentality like Bull Connor.
Up in your face, confrontational. And that's what Charlie Kirk is following behind.
Hey, you know what though? What's his name also about that? For them to say, okay, that's aimed at the younger generation, and you to say you hate them more than you hated our parents and grandparents is a lie because the racism that you had for our parents and grandparents was more blatant and brazen than the shit that y'all got for us now.
Yeah, and then here go another one, right? Now, at the memorial yesterday, you had Stephen Miller up there talking. He recited his whole speech was a recitement of Joseph Gottlieb, the Nazi, that recited was it 1930, 1939, was it, or 41? Look up Joseph Gottlieb in The Storm Is Coming. He recited that whole speech yesterday at nobody said nothing. The media is not covering it. Now think of how they go out of their way to maintain white supremacy. They go out of their way to do it. Watch this. How many white men died? How many white American men died in World War I and World War II? So how can Stephen Miller get up there and make that speech using Joseph Gottlieb in America, knowing how many white people died fighting in World War I? That goes to show you just how they'll go out of their way to maintain. Even when white supremacy stings them a little bit, they'll look for somebody else to pick on. They always got to maintain it. They can never go against it. But look up Joseph Gottlieb. Look up Joseph Gottlieb. Look up Stephen Miller's speeches.
Yeah.
Somebody need to mute their mic.
Yeah, who on here know who Joseph Gottlieb was? Any of the brothers on here know?
I heard the name before. I didn't think that he was that significant. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I heard his name before. Okay. It just seems like everything is fear based. I just feel like everything's just fear based at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Salutes,
that's how they thrive. That's what it's set up for. It's supposed if you look at I did a video this morning I posted on my channel. I showed 4 years ago, because we got short memories, all of the Democrats getting accused of all the Dems, the far left, they was getting accused of suppressing information. Remember when they was taking people channels down? You couldn't talk about the jab. They was controlling the information, right? Now Trump got it. He's doing the same thing. And everybody's battling and taking sides instead of looking at this objectively and not taking nobody's side. They got you hook, line, and sinker. They both doing the same thing, following the same playbook.
Most definitely.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
But now since the FCC, yeah, go ahead, hon.
I was just gonna say, and when it comes to that, we gotta remember, all of this really is fear-based, because the world that we live in is chaos. It's a chaos-based world, and chaos feeds, or the fuel of chaos is fear. So it's just like that's what they gotta constantly pump in order to keep it in a controlled, chaotic state.
Fear, guilt, control matrix.
Auto KO.
Right.
Order out of chaos.
Yeah. Out of chaos. Yes.
It's the fear spear. Fear spear.
False evidence, appearing real.
They're weapons of mass distraction.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Remember what the Dems was doing. That's why I said it's running on trans. You had transhumanism with Elon Musk and all the things that they implementing there, and the transgenderism what the Dems was running on. All those are system based, bringing you into the 2030 agenda and who's going to be in control of it. Every last one of them was suppressing information and taking away your free speech. The Democrats did the same thing. Remember, during the jab, we couldn't say shit.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me, guys?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Salute today, bro. Just want to say, great show. Been watching you for a few years now. Brilliant stuff. And I believe everything is a distraction and everything is a stage. We're being reset for to bring in this bio-digital convergence. And I didn't even know that Charlie was until I didn't even know he was until the other day. I just see like a big distraction.
I think what's happening now, Sanchez, is a lot of white people in America and around the world are starting to see what black people have been trying to tell them for 100 years, because it's starting to affect them now. And hopefully people are starting to wake up. When black people cried out, bled, died, everything, it went on deaf ears and they act like they didn't see it. Now, when they're being directly affected by it, because the corporations don't need you no more. They got machines to replace you. So they're starting to treat you bad as well. I think white America is starting to wake up.
And slowly. I'm going to tell y'all something too about, white America is some of them starting to wake up, and then it's like their response to a lot of situations as far as it ain't just like you said. Hold on, let me see if I can rephrase this. You said white America is starting to wake up.
Yes, somewhat. Yes,
somewhat. Okay,
wake up to what?
Oh yeah, okay.
Go ahead, let him finish.
I will let him answer that. Wake up to what? If he want to go in specifically, then I'll build behind it. I'm still trying to formulate.
Wake up. I would think if with everything that's going on now, the white guy that said wake up to what? If you still have to ask that question, and you're a adult that live in America and you can see everything, I don't know if you've been.
But just the money being devalued, not being able to buy a home.
Everything crime. Everything that black folks been talking about that you guys looked at as us complaining or the deaf ear is starting to happen to you guys from the government, and you starting to see a lot of white people come under more understanding now because it's happening to them on a large scale.
Yeah,
I think that's just a part of human nature though, because like that's like you in a neighborhood to where your family, like I got a lot of people that I lost. I've been to a lot of funerals in my life, so I'm used to it. And then now, all of a sudden, 10 years later, a lot of people they finally lost they've been to their first funeral. Because most funerals they've been to was somebody older. But I've been to a lot of young funerals since I was in middle school and high school, you know what I'm saying? So I'm used to losing people and it's not something new to me. But when you just going through it, it's like you just realizing how it feel to lose somebody or having to cope with that or have a repass, just a bunch of things you deal with that you never dealt with. So you can't relate to it.
Exactly.
No, but
George, I think it's the younger people, George. I think it's the younger.
It is the younger people.
That, and the older ones not really.
To it. They could. They just ignore it.
It don't matter if they're young or old. It's just dealing with a situation that you've never been at your front door.
But I disagree. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree. People know right from wrong, and if you could see something to say, man, that's fucked up what happened to them. I'm glad it wasn't me. They know, they saw the atrocities that was happening to black people. They chose to ignore it or just get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Or some of them that did feel bad didn't say anything because they didn't want to be ostracized in their own rooms. Now things is happening.
But that's why I use the example of a young person in high school losing somebody the same age as him versus you losing an older person that lived their whole life.
But that's why I disagree.
Why I use that example.
But I heard your example, but that's why I disagree. Because young people, young and old on that side, they all know what it is to be white in America and what it is to be black. They might not walk in our shoes, but they got eyes. They see what happened to us and what goes on with us. I don't make no excuses for them, none at all. But I will say this. I will say because the government and what we talking about when we on our nerve stuff, when we on here talking about the 2030 agenda, the technologies that's coming into play, the corporations is telling white people we don't need you no more either. And they're starting to lose their civil liberties and rights. And now they're starting to be more understanding because of what's happening, because of what's going on.
I'll tell you one thing that they should be waking up to, if they haven't started waking up to it yet, it's the fact that a lot of these racist laws like Terry versus Ohio that the cops used, they were originally instated because black people were getting their freedom. And the racist constitutional judges wanted to put laws out to be able to control them. So now those same laws are being used against all people, like depending on what class you are. So they need to realize those racist laws are being used against them now. It's kind of hard to relate to something if it ain't happening to you, no matter who you are.
I don't like when the reverends say, forgive them, God, for they know not what they do. Had a whole lot of practice. They know exactly what they're doing.
Right.
They got that down pat.
Some of them were executed for speaking the truth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how many black people in this country since the end of slavery, since 1865 was executed in this country for speaking?
A lot.
That's the point.
Exactly. They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, go ahead, Nasir.
You got it, sis.
I just wanted to ask Brother Sanchez, what are the dangers of bringing FCC getting involved in all of this?
Well, because a lot of people that's on the right keep saying people get fired from their job all the time. This ain't no biggie. It is a biggie. And I had stepped away for a minute. But I'm glad I'm back now because now I get to address everything I've been kicking off. So AM1, I'm going to answer your stuff and I'm going to play these clips I couldn't play. Just by the way, I had a white guy at my house fix it by dryer. and I wasn't going to go in and then too deep with the band here. But check this out, y'all. That's some funny shit. But check this out, right? Good question, Demi. The reason every American should be pissed off, and it don't matter if you love or hate Charlie, it's because this form of censorship has never happened ever in America, where you had the president of the United States use his presidential authority to put pressure on a government agency so that government agency put pressure on a platform and say, look, we're going to take your license away if you don't get rid of this particular person. And guess what? So when a lot of people will say, well, look, yeah, that ain't never happened before. And why is it important? It's important because for the first time in America, we have a dude in power in the presidential seat that's more concerned with what Americans say about him than what foreign countries do to us. I'm going to say that again. This man more concerned with what American people say about him than what foreign countries is doing to us right now. Let that sink in. That's dangerous.
That's tyranny.
And Sanchez,
that is tyranny.
What Sanchez is spot on, because what the Democrats did,
America's a corporation.
Biden was sending his soldiers up to what's the guy that on Facebook?
Who's
Zuckerberg. You remember Sanchez when Zuckerberg had to testify before Congress?
Fact.
Remember that?
Yeah, what they did was when they took all the major platforms, Biden was sending his henchmen over there to them, and he was threatening to get, but he did it behind the scenes. He didn't do it overtly like Trump. Trump came out in the front and Trump appointed Bondi as his attorney general, her as his attorney general, and Brendan as his FCC CEO. So he using them as to go do it, and they out. What Biden did was he had them behind the scenes, but what happened was when they had to come before Congress, they snitched on the Democrats because the Democrats was doing everything Trump doing. Now they just didn't do it. Trump said, "Fuck it, I'm just doing it out in the open. I don't care if you think we lying. Do something about it."
They don't care. They don't care that we know that they're lying today. They don't care about that. They see Donald Trump took and he fired people he knew he wasn't going to be able to control, and put people in positions that he know he could control, and he's just overreaching his authority and abusing his authority. Now, can you imagine the president running every agency of the executive branch, military branch, the FCC, the CIA? What he's doing is shielding himself really from prosecution.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He shielded himself from prosecution. Anybody that would investigate him and bring him to justice,
so
he would not have around him.
I need to know this from y'all too, man. Okay, I know it's two wings of the same bird, but when I heard Barack Obama interview, to me, Barack Obama was kind of letting the buried black dude in him speak a little bit. Now, a lot of people is saying like, well, but I know Barack's still part of the agenda. He gave Trump the alley-oop, but I'm trying to say, well, what would be the reason why is Obama actually telling the truth about the situation now? Why would he do that? You know what I'm saying? I guess, but that's neither here nor there. But he went in his interview.
The truth. He's telling half truths first.
Yeah, he done he done got out
half
of it.
truths.
He done got out of it what he needed to get out of it when it was his time. Now he can kind of speak his mind. But
well,
if it was me or you, Sanchez, you know what we would have did when we went in there? We would have been black up in that motherfucker. Cookouts on the lawn and everything. So we finally got up in here. Yeah, let's do it, man.
This was a real good interview, man.
Yeah, I watched it. It was good, but he was still safe. He was still being safe.
Yeah. Obama got
Just
the
my
same
subject. He was still being safe.
He got the same handlers as Trump, though, like BlackRock. But then Trump has like Tesla also. Like, all these corporations just manipulate.
Y'all remember this, Sanchez? You remember this? Remember what we were saying about 6-7 years ago? Man, I can't wait till they get them cameras, man. When they get everything on police cameras, they ain't gonna be able to get away with doing shit they've been doing to us. We finally got cameras. When they got cameras and we can see everything, what happened? They got off more than they ever did. Even when we can see it. So
that's
what I'm saying
is
they learned the algorithm from this stuff. So with Tamir
they tell
Rice,
you to turn the camera towards them while they do that shit now.
Just think. We saw Tamir Rice get shot down. We saw Terrence Crutcher get shot while he was on the ground with his hands in the air, right? We saw all this stuff on video. And they condition through social engineering conditioned you to believe something different. So Trump and them learn from this. They don't care about what you see, it's what we can make you believe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's facts.
And that's going back. That's going back to that word revolution. Going back to that word revolution. Control. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take that.
You know what?
That revelation that we're seeing now. If it don't spark a revolution, we might as well turn our head to it because that's what it's supposed to spark. A revelation is supposed to spark a revolution.
Yeah, because
it's not going to be no spectators. All this "I love everybody" bullshit. I can't trust you because you can't choose a side if you love everybody.
Listen, I'm gonna put it like this, right? I only love the people that's standing up for righteousness at the end of the day. And I'm gonna tell you right there, because you got a lot. It goes back to what I'm saying about these black conservatives, right? Who mourning Charlie Kirk. You know, I'm gonna be calling out Anthony Bryan Logan some more, and especially Candace Owens. But it's just amazing to me though how we can be saying we don't care about Charlie Kirk passing away, but you'll be surprised how many folks who saying they don't like Charlie Kirk support Candace Owens. Anyone else notice that? Like, I did a show where I was going in on Charlie Kirk, and then people was like patting me on the back. Soon as I start going in on Candace Owens, a couple of, the women were like, hold up, Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? So I believe, y'all, it's deeper than Charlie Kirk. Because if y'all mad at him about his message, but ain't nobody else talking about the people that's finna rise up to power with him, with his death stunt, because I'm 50-50 on whether the man dead or not. That's when people really gonna say, well, boy, you a big conspiracy theorist, like, but I could go into a whole spiel about this whole why I say that. But anyway, I put this up on the screen. This is Brendan Carr. He's like the head of the FCC. He put this out, right? When he put this out, 2019. And he's put, should the government censor speech it doesn't like? Of course not. The FCC does not have a roving mandate to police speech in the name of public interest. This was what the head of the FCC put out in 2019, but here in 2025, y'all, he's the main reason Jimmy Kimmel is off air. Big hypocrisy, but why am I bringing it up? You got a lot of people from the right saying these corporations can do what they want to do. They don't got to respect the Constitution. Presidents do. Our president got to respect the Constitution. He's not a corporation. But guess how your president disrespect the Constitution? He act through the corporation, through the government agency. By the way, through the FCC, because Brendan Carr's decision to get rid of Jimmy Kimmel wasn't anything he wanted to do. You right wingers are lying. Y'all are saying the corporations do what they want to do. No, they do what they told to do by someone higher than them. In this case, it was Trump. It's dangerous when we got a president undermining the Constitution. It's dangerous when we got a president finding ways to undermine the Constitution and punish Americans for speech, y'all.
Yeah, leads to fascism.
Israel got them all by the balls. That's what I'm saying. Got all them by the balls. So everybody got to do what they say do now because everybody done got caught up. I'm sure Brennan caught up.
They're blackmailed.
And guess what? And you can't say, well, Trump didn't fire him. NBC did, and they got the power to do what they want. No, Trump bullied them to do it. Let's tell the truth. And that's a problem when we got a president that's so full of ego, he's policing thoughts from regular civilians using his presidential authority to police our thoughts. Bro, that's so immature, dangerous, and just a waste of your energy. You sitting in the damn White House seat and this is what you're doing with your time?
So it's like he's passing the buck because now FCC has to find a remedy for all of this chaos.
I don't believe in any of them in the system, period. I was looking the other day, when they bombed Philadelphia. Nothing's ever been done about it. The government was in on it. So that should just tell everybody anyway that it's just time for all this to come together.
They blew up city blocks. 3 whole city blocks they blew up. They're right down the street from
They showed it. They showed them dropping the bomb out of their helicopter, bro.
Yeah, that was when we had, you know what's funny? With that, Wilson Good was our mayor. They blamed everything on him. But you know what's funny? You know how when you got like a mayor or governor and you have other people in your administration that's taking care of everything and they brief the mayor on what they brief the boss on what they do. So they get him to get a final sign off. The DA, Lynn Abraham at the time, and Ed Rendell, that was the what was he? He was something before he became the mayor and the governor. They went behind the mayor's back and gave the okay, and then came and told him after they dropped the bomb. And then he had to fall on it. That's why nobody ever went to jail. Because they went behind the mayor's back and he had to fall on the sword on it when they actually dropped the bomb, because they knew that what a black mayor wouldn't drop a bomb into a predominantly black city and what black West Philadelphia. So Ed Rendell and Lynn Abraham did it. And if you look up Lynn Abraham, you find she was like one of the worst DAs in the history of America, racist and everything.
Okay, so we got some breaking news. Jimmy Kimmel ain't fired. He will be back. And a lot of people is saying it was all a PR stunt. I'm going to tell you why I don't think it's a PR stunt. I'm going to have to give a lot of credit to the people. Y'all got to quit undermining the people, because the people started boycotting Disney and they was losing money. And that's why they had to bring his ass back.
They lost $4 billion in 24 hours. In 24 hours. Yep. They lost $4 billion.
So they did fire him and brought him back after they realized how much is detrimental to them, basically.
Right, that should be a lesson to all of us. That should be a lesson to all of us if we start boycotting all this shit for a while. Because
there you go.
They'll threaten you. They'll threaten you until you know they feel like they can hold out. But when they start really losing that money, boy, they give you what you want.
But this is a test run. This was a test run. See, I remember we 13% of the population, right? This was a test run by the powers that be to see how far they can push the envelope, right? They doing little test runs. So America, they got white America shook up and upset. So white America stood up with their large numbers and said, fuck y'all, we're going to push back. The problem is...
Who 13% of the population, George?
We are. We don't make up the majority of the population in this country to actually move numbers like the way when white folks do it, because they're the majority in numbers. So when they did that to white folks, and the white folks felt like their free speech was being taken, everybody jumped on that. But then you even seen MAGA politicians side with the whites because they understood that where their voting power come from. Yeah, we disagree with that. You seen senators come out, everybody's coming out disagreeing with Trump on. They agreed with everything Trump did until he did that, but that was a test run to see how the people would respond. That's all. So now now let's pay attention to what they do after this. Which angle they going to come to trick the people into giving away your rights? because they do it so many different times. Just keep watching.
Well, they did say that past media, past social media posts can come back and haunt people. So they're going to be doing some digging.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's coming. But everything they do, we all know because we all nerds over here. They do everything in test runs. They see what they can get away with, what they can't, and then they'll come on a different angle. That's all. They gonna cause some trouble somewhere else 6 months down the line. That's gonna make everybody agree to shit. Cause see, we don't even realize that when they doing this shit for free speech, and I said this in my video today, when we argue with each other and choosing sides, both sides is trying to take away your free speech. So if you go far right or far left, you still giving away your free speech, not even realizing because y'all two dummies are fighting for them. You got to reject it and say, I ain't down with none of that. I'm gonna go over here and sit in the corner until y'all done. They need your participation for it to work.
Pick a side. Any side. They don't care. Just pick a side.
Yep. When you pick a side to the radical left, you supporting what the Dems is doing because the Dems is trying to take away your free speech too. They want you to do what they say. If you don't like the trans stuff, if you don't like having to get them shots, if you don't like the immigration, they don't care about what you don't like.
As long as you're divided.
Yeah.
Hey George, who support both sides financially?
Oh, you already know the small hat.
Right.
Of course, they funded both sides.
That's why it's important to debate against both sides, and I think maybe Charlie Kirk was beginning to do that, but he had a lot of BS talking points, and I'm really not surprised like what had happened to him.
Charlie Kirk. The small hat thing with Charlie Kirk was Rush Limbaugh and them wasn't reaching the younger people. They needed some young white blood to go into these college campus and rejuvenate that old white male patriarchal conservative way of thinking. So they put a bunch of money into a young guy that can go into the country to galvanize the people because what's going on in with Palestine and Israel, they starting to lose a lot of their support because of what they're doing over there with those bombings and the killings of the kids. Their strong suit came from the evangelical Christian church nationalists that still supported Israel. They start to turn on them. They're not supporting Israel anymore. That's why you see BB on TV now talking and doing interviews with YouTubers and stuff because they was losing their support. And that's where Charlie Kirk and them came into play to galvanize that back up, but it started backfiring.
Do y'all think money would change people's society? Like how in Dubai, they got a challenge where they leaving all their wallets and stuff on the car and nobody taking nothing?
No.
No, it's a mentality, man.
So why is there no crime happening in Dubai?
Because if you get caught stealing, they cut your head off.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why ain't no crime happening in Dubai, right? I ain't gonna lie. Simply because they don't promote criminal behavior. If you think about it, right, they promote they children to get into oil, get into different trade, bring that wealth back. They own some other shit. Like, in my opinion, that's the main reason why.
And if you commit a crime, the punishment is so severe under Sharia law. You ain't.
That makes sense, bro.
They not playing with you, bro. Listen, you get caught stealing, they might cut your hand off, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, George, listen to this too.
So you think they more? What? Go ahead.
I'll get ready to tell you. Now you got all these children over there. They come from millionaires. They don't know nothing about crime like that. I mean, they might do petty stuff within their little groups and stuff, but they ain't really had to do no crime or none of that stuff. They always had everything they needed. So this generation of people that are being born over there and raised over there, they're bred for this shit. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, America was had become after World War II. America had become a dumping ground for other countries to dump their goods off to be consumed. So America is a major consumer hub. So what they allow here, they don't allow. They have it in other countries, but it's more underground shit that you could just do here, whatever you want. Try to do that shit in Russia and see what happened to you. Just try it. Get caught with a kilo of cocaine in Russia, please do, and watch what happened to you. Get caught with a kilo.
Get caught with a vape pen. Not even a kilo, a vape pen.
See, and the thing about America, like why I be saying the ghetto or the slums is a social experiment by rich people, right? The reason why I say that because of what y'all saying. This what make America rare, because over here they don't really combat criminal behavior like that. They capitalize off it and turn it into like a street culture, but they quarantine that away from the rich though. You know,
yeah, this ain't real life. This is what they gave you.
But
See,
that
They need to have
they create
slaves in trauma.
yeah, they create our
meaning
reality. They create our reality. They give us everything, and
Exactly.
we act it out. So this just a show. This a stage and a show.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, everything is done, and here everything is done for money, but it's a cycle. So if you live in China, Russia, these other places, you're making trillions of dollars off of the consumerism of America by importing products here. So it's a cycle. That's why Trump come in with the tariffs, because he was saying before, Trump is a businessman. He's saying, listen, y'all importing shit on my territory, man, and y'all not paying the tax. Like, you can make some money, but we got to eat. Y'all got to get that money here. So now what happens is, what they allow, because of America's a consumerist place, everything go. So they got porn, booze, drugs, everything. Now watch this. This is the caveat to it. When you put everything together in a 360 and pay attention, this is why Charlie Kirk and them is full of shit. Because how can you be a conservative when you are funded by the people that are the greatest liberals that the world has ever known? Everything they do is liberal, but they shroud it, they hide it and code it with this conservative Christian religious bullshit. They the ones that support the drugs, the booze, the pharmaceutical medicines, everything. And they making billions off of it, and they're the ones funding him. So it's all bullshit. And when black people try to bring this up, nobody listen. But like I said, get locked up with some weed in the airport in Bangladesh. You might get put to death. They don't play that shit, but you can do it here.
I'm trying to see too as well, and salutes to everybody in the chat. Let me see, do we get any super chats? Oh yeah, AM1. I'm trying to see, was this really MAGA on MAGA violence? I need to holler at y'all. That's my thumbnail, what I wanted to see, because they're making this like the left, let's attack black people and the left. But I'm hearing that they finding out the boy was MAGA, man. Now, if that's the case, that's really crazy, man. If we can prove that. But let me say to AM1, you asked me earlier, you said the word racist is thrown around so much that it hardly has any real meaning or weight. People just assign it to anything without much nuance. And I think that the people on the far right, like a lot of white supremacists, do that. They would call black people racist for mocking Charlie Kirk's death when they just using their freedom of speech. And to really be racist, you got to be able to have the power to act on your prejudices, which they don't have the power to do. That's the reason they mocking the man death, because they don't got the power to cause it, which is why we saying a white boy caused it. See, why that's my whole thing with this whole political circus of left versus right, which is them trying to make it the left black people in a nutshell. But that's what I've been seeing. But yeah, AM1, you right, man. I think the people that do that a lot don't want the word racist to have much meaning anymore because they're the racist.
Good point.
Facts. Hey, Sanchez, I was gonna ask you, where your boy Citizen, man? Didn't he vote for Trump? I ain't seen him around, man.
Salutes to Citizen, man. I wish him well, man. I know that Citizen, man, I'm a person that he really think is, oh no, he think I'm a bad guy, man. He think I'm a leftist liberal that is promoting the propaganda of some sorts. But salutes to him, though. I don't think none of that about him.
What did the poll? Sanchez? What did the poll read out? Because you had yes or no. You probably should have had I don't know in there too.
Yeah,
but what did it say? What was it?
Was Charlie Kirk a racist? Because that's a whole nother big debate going on online with them trying to prove that he wasn't a racist. And one of the big things they're saying, people who calling him a racist just don't want to admit he's telling the truth about black people. And they don't realize the answer is in that statement. Him telling the truth about black people but not telling the truth about white people makes him a racist.
Wow.
You see, the thing is they're trying to act like we're scared to admit Charlie telling the truth about blacks. And I'm going to be honest, black people, I got to give them props on this one. Black people never said what Charlie Kirk was saying about us was wrong. We was saying he ain't telling you what's wrong about the white man at the same time. And that is racism. That is a form of racism. Racism ain't always what you're saying, it's what you ain't saying too.
Yeah, and he never came and sat down with actually black intellectuals from the black community to have, like, you never see him in a black church talking to a black intellectual or somewhere talking to actual black people about the things that he talked about, because he knew that he was doing it from a position of to boost his career up and make fun of. He wasn't doing it out of understanding. So he had Candace Owens, but we already know what Candace Owens is. He didn't go and talk to somebody that's from the a black professor from a college somewhere or HBCU, somebody that's connected to the community. He would never do that. That's why
that's a real good point I didn't think about right there. He went around. Ooh, hold on. We got to talk about that and unpack that, George, because you know they giving him a lot of props for being the gateway to like the college youth and that the youth loved him, but they should say the white youth loved him because
that's who
they didn't.
Okay. That's who Bill Montgomery and Bernie Marcus funded him to do, because he was pushing, if you listen, he was pushing Rush Limbaugh's talking points. But if he was really sincere about the things he said about black people, why didn't he go to Tennessee State? Why didn't he go to Bethune-Cookman? Why didn't he go to none of those black and talk to black
Spelman,
professors?
For sure. Ooh, because remember when Trump went to remember when Trump went to that what was this that all black
national broadcast
and they put the fire on up in there. They wasn't no starstruck. They was like, yo, Trump, that's what I'm talking about. Look, that's why he don't want to go to them HBCUs and stuff like that.
He should have went to Howard. If he was about his business, go to Howard, because you know why? Them black kids down there at Howard and the professor would have lit his ass up. Listen, our people ain't no joke, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you see when Charleston White went to HBCU and got bombarded?
Oh, listen, man. Charleston White embarrassed himself, bro. Because check it out, bro. Charlie Kirk never stormed off a college campus like that. So you gotta have a little bit more. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was a fun
one. When Charlie Kirk went to Cambridge, and I sent you that dude from Cambridge. Listen, he lit Charlie Kirk up so bad, Charlie Kirk started cussing, yo.
Ooh.
Oh, word. He got him out of character.
Charlie Kirk told him that his country was a shithole because he lost. He didn't know what else to say. I mean, he lit Charlie. Listen, I'm talking about
brought the white supremacists up out of him. Yeah, told that man his country was a shithole, huh?
But that's what would have happened had he went to Howard, bro. Howard. Listen, Howard, Grambling, Spelman, like those HBCUs, he wouldn't have made it, bro. He wouldn't have made it. They would have killed him, man.
And they exposed themselves when all the black colleges closed down too.
Yeah,
because none of the white colleges.
But I've been asking him that question. Him and Candace Owens at Turning Point USA. Yeah, why they never went? Why they never? But that's where you ask the question, and I would have asked them, since y'all got so much smoke for black community, why don't you guys come on over to Spelman and let's sit down and have this conversation? And all you can do is go get some of you go into the what's the name majors, the what they call them, the damn, I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me in a minute. But the people that major in history and economics and all that, you bring them out, they would have lit their asses up, man. Listen, we focus so much, and I know this with my program. We focus a lot of times, not all of us, but black people as a whole. We focus so much on the trauma and the crime that go in our community. A lot of times we don't focus on enough of the smart people. We got millions of smart black people, man, real smart black people, but they don't get enough focus. The problem is the white man know this shit. And they know, go around them. That's the low hanging fruit. No, don't go to Howard. Don't go over there. Don't go over there to them with them black folks because they gonna make us look bad. Go over there to Pookie and Rick. Go over there to Pookie with the tattoos on his face and the gun.
They'll go to Spelman because Spelman is Rockefeller wife anyway.
Yeah, but you got
Spelman named after Rockefeller wife.
See,
you're missing the point.
The students, though, them students got
there.
That.
You go. Thank you. We gotta stop. Yeah. Everything we do, all those colleges is funded by white folks. That's not the point. We live in this country where we was under them. Damn near everything we do, they was controlling it. That's not the point I'm making. Inside the college, where the black kids are, we have to understand we are intelligent, man. We way more intelligent. We invented damn near everything that moved. They just use the media to make it seem like we're dumb. Charlie Kirk is not gonna go sit down with no kid from Howard or a professor from Howard and have a debate. It would have never happened.
Oh no.
And they still gonna join Greek fraternities.
But you know what's so crazy, right? Had he would have went to any of those black colleges, he would have made it out peacefully. He wouldn't have been harmed, and he would have just been intellectually hurt though. But he went. But you see what I'm saying?
That's a great point, Sanchez. he would have had his life.
Right. You know what makes us so powerful in that debate? I'm gonna tell you, Sanchez, why they wouldn't debate us like that. Because they spend so much time defending white supremacy and making us look bad and making us emotional, we lose. We spend so much time trying to prove that we more intelligent than what they say. So when they come into our arena where our strengths are, they're gonna lose every time. When we get emotional and fall into their arena, we lose every time. So they know I'm not going to go over there to where you got a bunch of black people that can't wait for me to come over so they can prove to me how better they are. We're going to beat them.
They'll never interview the most intelligent people. They'll never put the most intelligent people up to talk to you. They always promote, even when they promote the violence, it's always in the worst areas of the town, but they never show you the decent people, the decent black people that got good neighborhoods and everything. They'll never show you any of that.
They'll show you how good they is in sports, but they ain't gonna talk about the dude that made the plastiline. He disappeared.
Did y'all hear
political science majors? Oh no. They're not going, those black political science majors,
right?
Political science professors, okay.
You're right, George.
So,
good point.
And I want to say this to real quick, y'all. Like, I was bringing up some, like, all of the main cities. We was saying this yesterday, how they bring up Chicago, Memphis, the same old black crime cities, right? But look, what about this theory? And I don't know if it's a theory. I think this is a fact. Don't the government cut like a budget to these crime infested cities so they can, like, quote unquote, fight the crime? And what I was saying is, like, most of the black people in those crime infested cities like Memphis and all that, they pocketing most of that money because they don't live in the hood.
Yes,
exactly.
What they do is they allocate the money to the corporations, allocate the money to these major white nonprofits who work in conjunction with certain black nonprofits. So let's just say Sanchez Inc. or Industries or whatever it is. Like, you got a major nonprofit, and you might link up with me. You say, "Well, I just got $3 million," and you might allocate maybe $50,000 to me, but you making $400,000 a year just off of that awful crime in the black community that you never come to. You got me doing all the work.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to tell y'all, I gotta
bro.
go. I got another Zoom meeting I gotta go to. If y'all here, I'll come back.
Salutes to it, real truth, man. Good luck.
Yes.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Everybody getting paid to fight crime. So if the crime stop, they don't get paid. So they are that right there gonna go into why they have this revolving door. Because in order to keep those budgets open, they gotta have so many arrests on record every year. And
that's why they don't want Trump. That's why they don't want Trump to send the troops into Chicago. See, it's a twofold thing. Trump and them is wrong for what they trying to do, but the Democrats is just as wrong. If you send the troops into Chicago, right, it's going to cut a lot of the federal funding and state funding that these people was getting to so-called fight crime every year. Anti-crime. We have our anti-crime citywide initiative. We giving away $100 million. So everybody, all the nonprofits, fill out their grant applications to get their nonprofits. to get money allocated to their nonprofits. If crime goes down by half, like I'll give you an example. 2021, Philadelphia had like 670 homicides. They was killing each other left and right. They was frisbeeing the money away. I'm talking about you walk outside and get hit in the head with a check if you had a nonprofit. Bam! Right upside your head, right? So 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, 23. 2024, we had the fastest drop in homicides than any other city in America, from big to small. We dropped from, I think, like 400 and something to 224. Now we even dropping more. So we went from 600 and something homicides down to like 200 and something homicides. Guess what? They ain't got no more money. So now everybody's scrambling, trying to get money for their programs. So what you think will happen? Crime is going to go back up again. It goes up and down based off of, so it's all a scam. It's a scam. It's a system set in place that both of them play.
Hey, that's why, bro. You hold on one thing. I think that right there is why you can't be a mayor of a city if you don't live in the worst part of it. That ought to be a rule. Think about what I'm saying. If you a mayor of Baltimore and you live directly right there in the middle of the crime shit, I bet you gonna do something about it every day. I bet you gonna do something about this shit.
Or if they don't, or they pay you to.
They don't promote the crimes like that, because 10 years ago I bought a house in Clarksville, Tennessee, me and my ex, and Clarksville is predominantly white, right? So I went in the store to get some Tylenol, like the liquid NyQuil Tylenol. And they asked me for my ID. And I'm like, why I got to give y'all my ID to buy Tylenol? But it was a meth epidemic up there. They was making meth with all the medical products you buy at the store. But it was never reported. They didn't talk about it or none of that. You had to be in there to know that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like they'll have crimes in different cities where the white people at and don't even talk about it. But then when they talk about us, they say we killing each other and the crimes is out of hand and all that crazy stuff. It just don't make no sense.
Yeah,
to me.
It's been set up.
It's crazy because look at what Elon Musk doing in Memphis. He poisoning them people, right? If the mayor lived in that neighborhood, he would be pushing back at Elon. But guess what the black mayor's saying? He ain't even putting that many chemicals in the air. That's basically what he's saying in a lot of words.
And the bad thing is they use these things. The Democrats and Republicans are bipartisan in this about the black image. So you take a city like Philadelphia, a big city, 2 million people, right? All over the place, stacked on top of each other, like 49 to 51% black people everywhere, right? Black utopia. But they'll paint the picture like it's just murderous and it's just shooting and crazy. If you get up in the morning and just go stand outside in West Philly, you're going to see scores of black people going to work every day. 2021, when they had all them homicides, they didn't tell you that 12,000 kids graduated from high school the same year that 600 kids was killed. So if you times that by it's almost like 900,000 black people here, and percentage that to the 600 that died, it's not even like 3% of the population. But if they can keep telling you, now don't get me wrong, it's still a bunch of people died, and rest in peace to them, and the families is devastated. But if you keep painting this narrative with them, they keep making it sound like it's the majority of black folks, and it's not.
That's a good point, George.
Yeah, that is a good point.
I just wanted to ask off the chain, since he's Brit. I just want to know what's his opinion about all this American politician stuff chaos. Since you are Britain, right?
Yeah, I'm from the UK. Yeah. What was it?
Oh, UK. So what do you think about all this? May I ask?
I don't really watch much of the politics, but I just see it as one big show. It's just run by the Zionists, and it's all, they're resetting us. And I think it's like clown world. It's like, it's just mad. It's mad. But I was going to say something before we own nothing and eat the bugs. I just want to say I got a chip, and I loved your show, bro Sanchez. I'm always listening, man. You guys are sound. Yeah, enough love. Unite.
I want to play this. Salutes to you, man. I want to play this real quick. Yeah, play something real quick for y'all. Hold up a second. The reason I want to play this to show y'all how, like, people on the right are using Charlie Kirk's death to say that the leftists are violent and shit. When who cares what political party like a person is? You need to deal with that specific individual. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing about America that I hate. A leftist did it. A rightist did it. Like, man, what's the man name? That's who did it. God damn it. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Let's go. Put up or shut up, Charlie Kirk.
But look, this was Charlie Kirk's message before he died to a quote-unquote violent leftist, right?
You know what? So, first of all, it says very clearly in the Bible that we shouldn't harm those that are worthy of protection, and you obviously are.
You're just worried I'll kick your ass.
Well on med.
Now everyone is worthy of protection. See, y'all don't peep that because everyone is worthy of protection. Point blank.
Medicare age. But let's play this out. Despite the obvious fact, and you and I both.
Oh, y'all can't hear it? Okay, let me share the audio with y'all. And they keep saying Charlie Kirk was a Christian. Let's remember him as a Christian man. That's a cop-out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why can't nobody bring up these debates and all that stuff? And if you don't, then, because the Christian thing, to me, it's different kind of Christians. Just like it's different kind of Americans. You got a lot of people with that flag. They look like just regular patriots, but they represent a white supremacist America. It's two different forms of everything in this country, man.
Can we say
who would win this?
A lot of racist Christians?
Bro, most of them are. Listen, Christianity itself is racist. It just simply is, man. The whole idea of it is the foundation of manifest destiny. Charlie Kirk, everything he stood for was Christian nationalism, which is colonialism disguised. They used the Bible to justify putting themselves above everyone else.
However, hold on a second. This is a great embodiment of the American left. You can't debate, so you want to go to blows. You can't.
Now, what was the dude name that got beat with the baseball bat, but he had criticized Trump, so Trump was like, oh, by the way, how's your husband doing? He was trying to talk shit up. Yeah, the lady's husband who criticized Trump, right? Her husband got beat with a baseball bat. And Trump showed up at one of his rallies and was like, by the way, how is her husband doing? To get back at her for criticizing him. I wish I could find that video clip, man. I wish I would have saved that.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I guess.
So they incite violence all the time. They be mocking people's death all the time. All of that stuff. I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, they basically saying that the left always want to fight people in a debate versus the right is civilized. And that's what I was saying. The shooter, we can't say is left or right. Now, a lot of people saying he's MAGA and all that, but I think what's wrong with America is when somebody do something, who cares what political party they are? Because check this out. If a black man kill a black man, they don't look up his political party and say he was a Republican. They just say it's black on black crime, but this is quote unquote political violence. Instead of us saying, hey, the white man killed the white man, now it was the left killing the right killing the left, Crazy.
Damage control.
Yo, aren't terroristic threats unprotected by the Constitution?
Terroristic threats, yeah, I agree that we shouldn't protect that kind of speech. I agree. But
right. And why did Charlie Kirk make so many terroristic threats, and why do all these like radical, far right mofos, do that?
Trump keeps saying we got to go to war with the left, and they using terms like wage war against the left, and they using terms like fight or die. Yeah, and we seeing that all of these vigils of Charlie Kirk's is physical altercations, vandalism. Is crazy, man. Like it's kind of a brink of civil war, but I think it's gonna be more things out the Charlie Kirk that blow up in America. I think some big coming, and the fact that they got Charlie Kirk Day on George Floyd Day is strategic, is social engineering, because what that is gonna be is that whenever George Floyd Day come around, black people gonna be on they George Floyd shit, and white people gonna be on they Charlie Kirk shit, and the tension gonna be high on that day. And there's always going to be a debate about who's getting the most attention in the media. They didn't say that much about George Floyd, but they could have made them on different days, but they want a civil war.
I mean, the fact that Utah, now, what Utah is the Mormon, world, basically. And that was always, curious to me, is the Utah thing. No one,
and
the Mormons, they like to.
you had Charlie Kirk get unalived at Utah, and then you had a big story at Texas Tech of the black girl mocking his death, and she lost her tuition and all that. But right after that, Utah University played a football game against Texas Tech, and I'm like, this shit seemed like a simulation. Wow. Like, that's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, let us not forget about the Mormons. I mean, they play a big political role in everything as well. So
I'm just, that's just me I'm reaching with that, but yeah, it's crazy, man. That those two teams play.
For like the First Amendment, for them violating that, because them taking away her tuition.
You know what?
Correlation with the First.
You know what? You spot on, young Cuba. What we're witnessing in real time in our generation is the dismantling of the Constitution under Trump, and she ain't gonna be able to sue them because under Trump administration, it is basically a dictatorship, tyranny. It's anti-constitutional. Stuff like this can happen under him, and it's gonna be okay. Now, if it was the other way around, and let's say, okay, Trump in office, right? And let's say a far-right MAGA dude was mocking George Floyd's death, and he got kicked out of a college for it, then they would definitely raise up a free speech concern on Trump's behalf, but they ain't gonna do it when it's their boy, though, for sure.
For a second, you brought up Anthony Brown. I'm just curious. Maybe I missed it, but you talk about Anthony Brown, the politician Anthony Brown?
No, I said DeCarlos Brown. That was the guy
okay.
He stabbed the Ukrainian. But check this out, too. What a lot of people don't know, because people be like, you think Charlie Kirk was racist? He was just like a political debater. And, I don't even agree with everything he said. But listen. That's when I tell people Joe Rogan is racist, and they be like, bro, you reaching. And it's crazy that y'all can't see that they all birds of a feather that be together, man. Why do they like Joe Rogan? Why did Joe Rogan promote the division and get on the Charlie Kirk bandwagon? Because guess what? Joe Rogan make a lot of sarcastic jokes about Africans, about black people. It goes over y'all head. You don't see his racism. But guess what? Another thing about Joe Rogan people don't know is that the man, right? Let me pull this up. Hold on, my computer freezing. I'm finna show y'all that this dude is respected among Satanists. Hold on a second. Damn. I'm putting too much strain on my computer or something, huh? Here we go. Bam. So look, I'm pulling this up and I'm showing you something, right? Joe Rogan promotes Darwinism, eugenics, and scientific racism on his channel. And if you look at what he throwing up, listen, Darwinism, when people talk about Satanism, bro, it's all part of a racist agenda. It ain't no scary boogeyman type shit. You see, and you'll see those Proud Boys with the serpent. They got the yellow flag, don't tread on me with the serpent. That's secret code of Satanism. But Satanism ain't what y'all think that they worshiping some monster. Satanism is an agenda.
Yes.
So
yes.
Think about it. Darwin, the one came with to try to give it a explanation of diversity, which led to eugenics. Remember that Darwin was a Mason, his cousin and all of them was in on this shit. It was all about eugenics. They was like, look, we gonna make black people be first, but they gonna have to be monkeys type shit. The whole concept of calling black people monkeys come from Darwin. And then when you listen to Joe Rogan podcast, when he go into evolution science, he do it with like a little smirk on his face with like, they don't really believe this shit, y'all. This is an extension of the Vatican, the papacy, the Bible they gave you. They gave you their version of science. They gave you, when you ask them, well, who was the first people here and all that, they give you Australopithecus and they give you all this stuff. So I'm just showing y'all it's all connected, man. Like this whole, it in the form of science and all that. Now I can go deeper with this stuff, but just know that it's all an agenda to make them superior and everyone else inferior. And when you make a claim like that, when you're a person that want to be above everybody, you got to justify that with science and theology. So the Bible the Bible justifies that on a theological level by telling you white people supposed to rule over you because you sinned against God. You turned to what you know what the Hebrew Israelites teach. You know, you got to get punished, right? But then the political side that justified is you're violent. It's a lot of violence and black gang violence. And then the scientific part that justified is you got primitive DNA because you were the first humans on earth who were more violent. They were more dumb. They had chicken bones in their hand. They were barefoot. So they got this thing set up on all levels. And you can see right now they got the whole world looking at black people as a threat. We just heard that lady from Israel say that the main threat with Israel is black youth. But don't stop there, though. This is what people don't realize. Let me show you something, right? Charlie Kirk was bigger than what we think, y'all. Charlie Kirk was known worldwide, and I want y'all to know that they having vigils for Charlie Kirk in South Korea. They're having vigils for Charlie Kirk in the UK. We don't know how big, bro. People that never came to America before in their life holding vigils for Charlie Kirk in their country. You got to ask yourself, what do South Koreans, what do all of these foreign countries, why do they love this? Why are you in another country with a MAGA hat on? How the hell are you? People ain't realizing what I'm saying. The MAGA MAGA and the Trump administration is like a worldwide cult, y'all. It's deeper than a political party. You don't have people all around the world doing this with the liberals and the Democrats, bro. You got people that never been to America before rocking MAGA hats and shit in their country. What are they identifying with this group? That none of them like you, bro. And who is the you? I'm telling you now, I can show y'all videos of people. They got videos online of people all around the world in other countries. with MAGA hats and all this, holding vigils for how are you American Republican Party, but you live in this is deeper than a political party, man.
Yes, let's not forget about the Scientology. That plays that plays a role in this too. Yes, and Lutheranism and Satanism. Yes, it's all coming together. They all allied together for sure.
And the fraternities.
You meant to say Luciferianism.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like, in a previous video I watched Bro Sanchez, he pointed out the similarities of Jesus Christ and Lucifer. And yeah, it's a mind, a mind F. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss. But anyway, yeah, like.
Hell yeah, you're allowed to cuss. Say that shit now. Use your First Amendment.
Right.
You're gonna stretch this shit like crack.
So listen, I want to share with y'all why South Koreans love Charlie Kirk. Let me show y'all an evil tactic of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk went around the world big upping other people over blacks, and that's how he built the bond with them. For example, right? Let me just show y'all some real quick. Let me make my point, and then y'all can have the flow. I'm gonna get another tab because I want to show you Charlie Kirk, South Korea vigils. Show you what I'm talking about, right? All right, look. Listen. No, this is not no MAGA gathering in the U.S. These are South Koreans in South Korea. Do you see how many people out there? Now look, watch this, bro. You gotta ask yourself, why do all those South Koreans identify with the far right in America, bro? And I'm gonna play this video because that ought to be scary for you. But watch this, right? Look at what he said here. Listen, watch this.
Radio stations across the country, honored to be with you as always.
Charlie Kirk made a video called I Am Safer in Korea Than in America's Big Cities. And in this video, he basically threw, black people under the bus and bigged up all these other people. And to my opinion, that's kind of his little tactic on how to garner a partnership with, like, build an alliance with other people to say that, yeah, man, we superior to these Negroes and they the problem. And to me, that's how I'm taking it, but this is a 10-minute video. We can play through it, but that was part of the stream I wanted to bring up with the panel. Before I play the video, I'll see if anyone want to speak on this whole South Korean support for Charlie.
Crazy work, bro. Crazy work. It's like the fact that just shows you the power of media right there. And if it wasn't for his amendment to even be able to spread what he's spreading to there, or if they repealed a law that they keep trying to, repeal or the amendment, Charlie Kirk wouldn't even been able to gain a following with what y'all are trying to do.
Yeah, but, buddy.
That.
And I might be jumping the gun when I say these Koreans are gravitating to the far right, to the MAGA party. Because they all agree on the same racist dialogue. Maybe I'm reaching. Anyone else got any other theories on why all of these Koreans and this other countries, we gonna pull their videos up too? Yeah.
Because I look at it like everybody around this world, in the world, want to take God to war. If everybody looking at us and know that who we are, know where we from, they know our history, we the only folks that don't know it. Only way Satan could take God to war is to ban against him. That's why they follow Satanism and the rest of these people hating with it. Can't go to war with God by yourself. You need everybody, and that's what's going on. Even if we looking at, all right, he's speaking against black folks, but then if you watch TV, you turn to the next commercial and they promote interracial relationships. You can't go to war with God. Their hands is too small. So that's what happened.
And that's what's part of the everybody's, a lot, coming together and fight, the allies.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to reach him. It's like Loaded Luck said, you can't throw rocks at the sun. It's hard to reach it. So what you do is you start putting chemtrails and whatnot in front of it. And you start doing all this extra shit, making up lies and black people doing this and black people doing that. People believe the person that tell the story first. That's the problem. Until they get around us and then they in our neighborhoods. I'm in Philly. And in Philly, we got white folks, black folks, Ricans. We got everybody in Philly. Everybody live together. Everybody chilling. You know what I'm saying? But they'll make it look like, oh, black people getting tired of y'all taking their jobs. And I don't get this shit, man. They trying to go to war with God, and they can't.
They'll make it look like we all just, that's facts. That's the whole divide and conquer tactic. But like I said, man, not all black people trying to go to war with whites and vice versa, but they gonna make everybody, force everyone to do it because of what, once they get enough people on board, like I said, you know what I'm saying? I think a civil war is possible in America. We had one already. They said history repeat itself. What would a civil war look like in our time? You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't gonna be it ain't gonna be North versus South. It's finna be left versus right, which is crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. They already put the movie Civil War out. You know, they always do programming.
Oh yeah, word.
And then they put the next movie to that where they gonna weaponize the kids. They put the weaponized movie out, whatever that shit called, and it basically was showing how they using kids, how some lady, whatever, however the movie went, the kids was the weapons. You see what I'm saying? And who the lady say? We scared of black youth.
To say we are Charlie Kirk sounds to me like a damn cult, a hive mind cult. But on the other hand, I will say this, somebody could look at it like this, right? At the end of the movie Malcolm X, which is what, like, you had this
May
scene.
19th, we celebrate
You had
Malcolm.
this scene.
I'm Malcolm X. I'm Malcolm X. I'm Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X.
Yeah.
So let me see, do you see how they basically trying to spit in your face? Because look, they keep comparing Charlie Kirk to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. They saying they gave him a medal, but they didn't give Malcolm and all them one. Now, remember this, we say that Martin Luther King streets got the most violence in every ghetto. If you on an MLK, they desecrate this man, right? So look, they said, now Charlie Kirk Day is on George Floyd Day. So you talking about black people history, white people racism one day. Charlie Kirk spoke bad about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all that. So when you go to their streets, it's like a testament to what Charlie Kirk was saying about black people. When you go to Malcolm X Street, Martin Luther King Street, they make it's like, damn, Charlie Kirk ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? And then it's crazy how they set this up. You see what I'm saying? Then they took the I am Malcolm X shit and stole it and made it we are Charlie Kirk. It's like they saying, fuck it, we finna just scratch out y'all tag on some gang shit, you know.
Everybody around the world taking their government through it, except over here.
Hey, Leo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you said Civil War, like Avengers Civil War?
No, they got a movie. I forget who it came through. I'm not sure if it's through them A24 folks or something, but it's a movie called Civil War. It's not like no heroes and none of that. You got the army jumping out on folks. You got it's a lot of shit going on in the movie. It's a lot of stuff. And like I said, they just do programming. You know what I mean? They did this to us. I'm 46. They've been doing this shit since I was growing up. They've been doing this shit. So it's like, you could play cards on somebody's back until they stand up and realize they ain't no tape.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, like,
go ahead.
the Avengers are the real villains though, like Captain America and Thor, and the Hulk is like just enraged at like whatever the fuck, like I don't know.
I mean, put it like this: Ryan Davis did a pretty good breakdown of Captain America, but I'll just say for the heroes as a whole, you'll never see these niggas in the hood. I put it that way. All you niggas is bulletproof, but we don't never see y'all, running up on people, taking all their guns and putting these, the people in jail that we need to be put in jail. Like, it's always just what the government need me to do.
That's it.
Hey, look, I want to make another point too. How they run these psyops, right? They will have all of these violent criminals, right? Now they'll keep letting them out to keep being repeat offenders, but then say we gotta take everybody guns when they know specifically who the problem is. But watch this, right? With the whole free speech shit, they doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for example, like how can I put this shit? Because it's the same tactic, right? It's like they will let a lot of people go out there and incite violence with the left and the right, like Trump do, like Charlie Kirk did. And then when the shit hit the fan, they'll say, we gotta censor American citizens. Wait a minute, won't you tell Trump to shut the hell up first? Won't you tell, you see what I'm saying? It'll always lead back to we getting censored or we getting gun laws, but y'all the ones, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
It's even crazy. I agree with you 1,000%. It's even crazy too, though, that you've been saying that it's an attack on freedom of speech. You've been saying this for a long time now, and that is coming to fruition. Even to the point where for them to fake or whatever they got going on, I don't know the man. I don't know if he lived or died. I don't know the man. But he had a freedom shirt on in the middle of his speech and got hit in his neck over. If that ain't letting you know freedom of speech ain't for y'all, don't come out here saying anything. They got cancel culture. They got all that.
Now you know for a fact that the first step to a dictatorship, the first step to a tyrannical government is to disarm its citizens. Everybody know that, right? Any pushback on that one?
No, not at all.
Now watch this, right? Here's what people don't know. America is one of the hardest countries to disarm because it's so many people with voices that's gonna fight back at the government disarm. We're a gun country. Now watch this, right? If you wanted to disarm Americans, you would first have to attack free speech first before you can even take our guns. You will have to take our free speech. If you look at how the Constitution is set up, right? The First Amendment protects for freedom of expression and limits government interference. Once the government start interfering with our right to express ourselves under the guise of protecting you from hateful words, hate speech, then the next step is disarming you. The reason the First Amendment is free speech and the Second Amendment is to right to bear arms is because if you really think about it, if you can't speak and argue your point, right, you can't justify your reason for carrying a gun around. So when the government start trying to take away our guns, They're gonna already been it took away your speech, and basically in so many words, you're gonna be able to say nothing about it because they're gonna have it set up to where any pushback against disarming you will be censored on these platforms as a way to say it's against the public safety hazard. You're inciting violence by being pro-gun. You know what I'm saying? Because remember that the problem is the guns. It ain't the people that's holding them. So if you pro-gun, you pro-violence in this new sort of mind F that they trying to. But that's what I'm telling you. It's going to be first thing they going to take is your speech. Second thing they going to take is your guns in that order. And that's the way the Constitution is written.
They done already started taking speech away with the cancel culture. They done started that, what, 2020? They been on that.
Right.
I just wish our folks just catch up.
Hey, let me give a shout out to Hydrogen. Johnny Cali Blaze said, love and respect, Sanchez. I appreciate you for all you do for the people. My life hasn't been the same since 2019. Keep teaching, beating, and booting. Much love, my brother Johnny Cali Blaze. I appreciate you, man, for real. And let me give a shout out to Golden Spark. He said, keep the fire lit. We will do that, Golden Spark. Appreciate you. And shout out to my brother Joshua Tellerton as well. And thank y'all all for being channel members. Salute to all the channel members. Appreciate the love. Listen, guys, cancel culture is carried out by the people, right? The attack on free speech is carried out by the government. Let me specify something that was just said. Let's not really compare cancel culture to the attack on free speech. Cancel culture is the people coming together saying, listen, he's too toxic for the community. Let's say that a certain entertainer said some PDF stuff out of their mouth. They may get canceled for it. Or let's just say that a grown man, a little girl wanted an autograph, and this grown ass basketball player walked right by the little girl on some bougie shit. He might get canceled. So cancel culture is like the public outrage, you know, but free speech, what we see coming down through the FCC under Trump and all that is far more sinister, tyrannical, and just authoritarian.
But if they're going to try to start a civil war and then they want to take the guns away, that's we're going to be so defenseless. And I just want to ask a question. Do you think that the Civil War is part of the depopulation theory tactic thing?
Everything is ultimately going to lead to depopulating the earth and having less humans on it. I mean, everything is tied to everything, if you ask me.
Right, correct.
Yep.
Correct. And I was unaware that Charlie Kirk, before his death, he did go to Korea and spark some, the conservative youth about, their little, about everything. So, I mean, wow, I didn't think that he had such an impression on Korea. That's interesting.
And like he is more than just Korea, it's other countries too. So the point that I wanted to make, Demi, I'm glad you brought that back up, was that this brother is way bigger than what we think. He's worldwide. I saw a video that educated me that, yeah, Charlie Kirk is way bigger than what we think.
Yeah, he got a colonizer mindset.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the spiritual community, my spiritual community, they're trying to say that he's the spirit of Luke, of the disciples in the Bible, but that's just hearsay.
Yeah, they've been trying to set him. I think they're trying to set up another Jesus figure.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think they're trying to do. I think they're trying to bring another figure that'll make them look a certain way. And that's just it. And
I'm gonna be honest. I ain't choosing no side. I do think ultimately we all being played and our emotions are being, steered collectively. I'm speaking beyond myself as an individual. You know what I'm saying? I think that all of this should be used to bring up serious race relation issues in America that can make America heal, but is yet used to further perpetuate the racial hate, tension, and division and all that, in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
You know what I don't understand?
What you don't understand?
This is what I don't understand. It's all these people on a college campus, but there's only 2 videos that leaked out. We talking about a college
crazy.
With kids that don't be on their phone, and it ain't no other footage or nothing.
Now you want to hear my bizarre theory, man? I'm gonna go and let it out the bag now. So here's my bizarre theory. My bizarre theory is that there are huge underground cities, man, that may be bigger than Vegas. And it may be underground simulated suns with underground rivers and all that. And that the rich people got interconnected luxury silos underground. There may be entire underground civilizations that never come up, right? I also believe that, let me just cook this with no interruptions, sister, if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that deep. But yeah, you got it. So along with the underground cities, right? I'm saying that there may be uncharted lands all around here too. And that when we say the world is a stage, what if people don't die? They're simply taking off the world stage and they living out their life in these uncharted places, away from the regular society. Because remember, we part of the Truman Show. We don't know about the secret societies, which may be connected to uncharted nations and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I don't throw people's theories off the table when they say, well, Charlie Kirk may be still alive, Sanchez. Yeah, I do have my little theories in that area where I think if this real talk, I do think that that's possible, man. People can they can rewrite history. They can control the world by controlling history, by writing history, controlling the narrative in history, right? And they can write history by staging events to that level to where, look, you got to even make entire people disappear for good. Whether you change their identity like the Apollo crew that supposedly died, right? But I'm just saying, I do think they go to that level to keep this simulation, this matrix going. They gotta, in order for you could control the future by writing history, by controlling the past. If you can rewrite history, if you can rewrite the past, you can rewrite the future. They both connected. If you can make a person wake up tomorrow with a whole different history of who they are, they won't even make the same moves in the future. From that day forward, they'll make different moves in their future because of what you program about their past.
I think these corporations, like with all their money and power, have the have the power to basically say whatever they want, and they'll suppress anyone for speaking their mind
because they want to rewrite the future.
Right.
They want to rewrite history.
Rewrite the past and future. And they can do that because they have all this money, and this kind of goes back to like what I was saying about like the Avengers being the bad guys. Actually, that's like Iron Man. He has like an arsenal, and he can say like whatever the fuck he wants, basically. Like,
to use another superhero reference, Lex Luthor, right? If you know Superman, Lex Luthor lives underground, like underneath the subway. When you get into superheroes, all of the villains always live underground, and I always was like wondering like why they always live in caves and shit, you know?
Yeah, I have a question about you're talking about rewriting the past and the future and everything. With Charlie Kirk going to South Korea, I believe, and them chanting for him, and it seems like there like is a conglomeration of people groups that have a fixation on American blacks. And I mean, there's a whole debate, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the tether debate in some of the black conscious communities. Do you think that is because during the previous civilization here in America, some people call it Tartaria or whatever they want to call it, that the black people or the Moors were the ones that were in control of this land? And now we are their descendants, and that is why there's so many different people groups all over the world that put all of their focus on trying to pigeonhole us into the lower echelon of economics.
That resonates. That resonates. That resonates with me. You know, that right there. And I think we got a lot of proof of that when we look at ancient advanced civilizations like the Kimmel Empire, the Olmecs, and stuff like that. Even that was even before the Moors. Yeah.
Yeah, see, because from my understanding, the most recent in most recent history of civilizations, the one that was here in America was mainly the highest one on the earth, which had the most power. Still to this day, America is considered the superpower of the world. And the people that were in control of that were our ancestors. It's a theory, but it makes sense. I mean, there's definitely an fixation and an obsession when other nations they come to America, they set up all of their businesses in black areas, American black areas, whether it be Vietnamese or Chinatown or the Arab, the Muslim communities. It's usually connected closely to black areas, American black areas, even the Jewish communities and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a theory. It was just came to my mind when we were talking about rewriting history, because our ancestry did. If we look at some of the documentaries about the black inventors and almost everything that we have today, if you do the research on it, and you watch the documentaries on it, was invented by black people, even though they weren't able to take it to the patent office. So, there's something to throw out there.
Facts.
So and I will be talking about 31 Atlas as well and this new doomsday cult that they got. This whole, they talking about this may end life on Earth. See, I've been telling people that them believing in space is gonna open up the door for us to be attacked by the government. They saying we don't know if it's a comet or if it's alien technology. It's government technology. And the ancestors been telling y'all, remember the covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, the rainbow, and the Nut and Geb, the firmament dome, that they was saying, remember that we're protected. That represents security. Think about it. Christians today will tell you that the rainbow is a symbol of God's promise with man, of security, protection, etc., and all that they'll tell you about. And that's telling you we're protected and enclosed. Why did they make that big thing back in the day? Because this same debate was going on and people was arguing about, because the church always been trying to scare people with signs in the sky, false alarms in the heavens, to try to trick them into fear programs like what they doing now. and make them people say, well, save us, we need a savior. And now you're buying into this program, and you see what I'm saying? But so our ancestor was basically letting us know, remember the covenant. The word covenant means a covering. Go look it up in etymology. They were saying, remember, you're protected. Why would they tell you that? Because this deceptive trick they've been trying to run this on everyone. This right, real talk. The ancestor want you to know, man, can't none enter the earth, can't none exit the earth physically. So don't let no man deceive you on the nature of the heavens and all that, which is what they're doing. That's in Hebrew means deceive.
Hey, what about land beyond the ice wall?
What about them? There are other lands we don't know about, and that's just a fact we got to accept. It's no longer a form of speculation or a conspiracy conversation to perpetuate. It's a fact that you say, because listen, once we know that I do think there are uncharted lands beyond. I think the earth bigger than what they telling us, right? And I think you do reach a certain part where you can't go no further because of the firmament dome. But I think the firmament dome go further outward than the ice wall. And before you get to the firmament dome, you're going to reach lands you never saw and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, it's a channel that I had ended up following where this dude collected all the lore he could on what was beyond the ice walls and the maps and the lands that was out there and the stories from all the different civilizations. Pretty interesting video if y'all ever get a chance to watch. I'll try to find a link for y'all. But
yeah, drop that for sure.
You probably talking about Nosekin funding.
Hell yeah.
But they keep talking about this. Yeah, I know you're talking about, but they keep talking about this Atlas thing, right? And it's like they've been talking about this for like a month now. Oh, the mothership is just enters our atmosphere. Well, they sure taking a long time to come. They ain't get here yet. They sitting out there and they ain't come yet. Like, what's going on?
Well, no, it's been here. Remember, they just put up a video of some type of rocket or whatever smacking off the side of something that they say was in the sky. But the video that they just dropped, that shit happened in 2023.
And they keep talking about the ship. They keep showing the ship. Talking about the ship is 3,000 miles wide and all type of crazy stuff. And then people like Rod Hayes and Young Elder, they the one promoting that stuff. You try to suit their narrative. Told y'all aliens real. I told y'all, like, bro, stop, bro.
Man, some folks is gonna try to pump fake like they opened the sky and like some savior, Charlie, whatever, gonna come out there, John. That's what them folks
but here's the thing. They about to bring in blue beam technology.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me cook. Let me cook for a second. I appreciate all that, but I just want to. So look, they about to bring in blue beam while people ain't even thinking about it, and they're gonna use it to literally attack people. They know you can't get them physically and through the firmament dome, so they're gonna project shit up there while literally targeting people with advanced sound weaponry. Direct energy weapons. They're going to be you directing all this stuff toward the citizens. So check this out. They're going to be telling you, we don't know what the hell going on, man. Whether it's alien, whether it's human, why are they saying that? Because the things that we're going to see they're trying to pass them off like random objects floating in space. But when you see this thing moving weird, like someone controlling it, or like a drone, or like blue beam, they can say, well, we still don't know what this could be. It can be a rock, it can be alien technology, and now they got the door open because is them. So when it can be all of that, because once it interact in ways that don't make no sense for it to just be some comet coming to Earth, right? Because in my opinion, look at this right here.
The Eye Atlas. And
let me show you something. What they showing you, these are military attacks in the sky. Like if you look at, let me show you something real quick, because they just put this on a thumbnail. I want to show you this. Look at the thumbnail on this, right? If you look at the thumbnail right there,
Are you sharing it on the thing? Can't see nothing.
Yeah, let me pull this up with y'all. Because this thumbnail can go off as a rocket or a missile attack, but they're making you see it as comets, right? With strict, like, come on, this, me being in the military, look at this thumbnail right here. Y'all see it with the dude with the breaking news with the suit on?
Yeah, the fire in the sky.
Now listen, some random rock just coming to Earth, but it's got a direct trajectory with tails. It's like a missile strike. Like, come on now, bro. This right here, I'm saying if they saying that this is what it will look like, what they calling a cosmic visitor can literally be covert government attacks on citizens in certain areas, bro. Just because y'all buying into this belief system of aliens and all that. And guess who else promoting this? Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil Snake in the Grass Tyson.
Remember you brought up the war in LA when they had they supposedly attacked LA back in the days or something like that? What was it called? Forgot the name of it. When they had the machines and they was supposedly shooting at the machines and stuff. It was I can't think of the name of it, but you was talking about it with the Vermont ships and stuff like that, and they had the it was a war in LA. That's what they called it, I think. The war in LA.
Was it War of the Worlds?
No, it was in the newspaper.
Battlefield, Lost LA or something like that.
Now check this out.
Kurt
NASA is saying that 31 Atlas, something alive is inside of it, and that they're receiving a transmission from it. Now watch this. I've been telling people for years they gonna make contact with aliens, and whatever the signal or the transmission gonna be, it's gonna spark off some sort of doomsday shit and all that, bro. I got videos where I've been calling this out, telling you exactly how it's gonna happen, and that's how it's playing out. That's crazy, but yeah,
the transmission could be coming from if we remember when they first came out with the coronavirus, it came out with 5G at the same time, pushing those signals from those towers. And I haven't seen the internet get any faster at all. Matter of fact, it seems slower to me. So like, I think that had something to do with it. So pushing out these signals and stuff like that could be coming right from these towers, and they could be saying, "Oh, it's coming from 3i Atlas."
Pretty much. That's what I was basically saying too when I said the little Charlie Kirk coming out the sky joke. These folks is preparing for that blue beam thing, and they also already got the weapons where they doing crowd control by spitting frequency at the people.
And China is really doing all type of amazing things with their drones in the sky. Like they having all type of animation shows and all that. They got a big samurai, and they got the stuff now, like in when you go into the cities now, they got the stuff that pop out at you. They got the tiger that pops out on the screen and looks real, and you can feel like the wind. And it's like, oh, it's real. It looks real. It feels real. And that's what they're going to use to try to put on people.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what? I wonder if it's a psyop, because it is called 3i Atlas. So if we just want to put our tinfoil hats on, like third eye, Atlas is kind of like the God's shoe in a sense. He creating space.
I see what you. I can. That resonates. I can fuck with
Greek
that.
mythology.
I can fuck with it.
These are all Greek mythology people.
Even to the number 13. That, what is it? 31 Atlas or something it's called.
So look, you guys,
you got the number 13.
I gotta make a run, but my next show will be about 3i Atlas. We're gonna talk about, and I'm coming at it from a straight up the psyop behind it of them being able to target American citizens, because I'm telling y'all that's exactly what it is. But be on the lookout to everybody in the chat room, to everybody on the call. We gonna be covering this on the next stream.
Hey,
Peace
Sanchez.
Peace.
Hey, Sanchez. Hey, You got 20 seconds to play that clip I sent you? It's a 20-second video.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have
I
to.
want people to see this.
I got to send it to my email to play it on the big screen there because
it's like 28 seconds.
What was it about?
It's a rap song that the MAGA made about killing black people.
And real quick, another thing they talking about heavily on the internet is how everything come into play with the Illuminati cards. And they say that Charlie Kirk last quote before he passed was "Enough is enough," right? And it's a picture of Trump, and then on the card it says "Enough is enough" on the same card with Donald Trump face on it, and they were trying to correlate that with that situation.
Yeah, they made this song supposed to be made in tribute to Charlie Kirk getting out alive. So yeah, there you go right there.
And y'all ain't find out no more information on that book, on that writer that made the book about Charlie Kirk before he died. Y'all ain't find no more information about that.
No.
This is a pro-Trump rapper though, sparking outrage with horrific song about lynching.
That's not the one, Sanchez.
Can you hear it, George?
That's not it though, because I think she's not gonna play the music. She gonna talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got the one I sent you. Let me see. Hold on, wait a minute. It should be under the one that I text.
I think it would help the country out for like black and whites like to come together and kick racist mofos shit in like they did back in the 80s, dog.
Yeah, well, you gotta tell that to white folks, bro. We've been trying to get white folks to listen for 100 years, 200, 300 years. They're not listening. You got
400 years. Yep.
7,000 years.
Yeah, they not listening, bro. It ain't on
Hey,
us.
like to the flat earthers, man, like what y'all was talking about earlier, man. If y'all come to the, somebody asks y'all a question, why flat earth and the globe debate and stuff like that, is because the globe can create so much behind it. You know what I'm saying? If you had a flat earth and a firmament dome, you couldn't have any aliens.
I'll text you a
Oh,
Twitter.
here it go. Good versus evil.
That might be it.
Yeah, that's it. Good versus evil. They gonna send me a copyright strike for this one. Let me see what I can do here. I'm gonna have to
oh shit.
Oh, you know what? We can read these lyrics.
Okay.
We sure can.
Is it gonna come? I don't know, you might not be able to. Cause he going in now.
We need a big tall tree and a short piece of rope. Hang 'em high, sun down. Low. Y'all hear this shit?
Yeah.
Now what's crazy is that a white man killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, they don't care. But remember I told you. Well, let's keep going. Don't mess around.
Don't mess around in town in a short piece of road.
Yeah, well, I wish you could hear it.
When did the song come out?
I didn't get no straight
Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. But if you do, bitch, we'll hang you in a fucking field. We don't judge by skin, we judge by soul. So God can judge your sin, but bitch, you gotta go.
Start from the beginning. You want to hear that first dude with the long hair.
Whoa, we need a big tall tree and a short piece of rope. Hang 'em up high and sundown. Leave 'em swinging.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wild, man. They wild.
And you notice that. Now watch this, right? When they talk about inciting violence, right? They talking about the left is the party of violence and that these black folks are violent and all that. Look at videos like this. Ain't no big. Now think about this. Why ain't no media outlets covering this, saying this is? Think about it. Jimmy Kimmel can get fired for making a harmless joke about Trump, right? Not being that mournful about Charlie Kirk. It was a funny joke, right? But this can stay up. Now think about, your video would be taken down if you made a video saying we need one of them what's them things they put the J word people in that Hitler put them in to burn them and shit. Them
chambers, gas chamber.
Yeah. See, now how about we make a video? You see what I'm saying? What if you make a video? You know what I'm saying? Of yourself getting shot in the head like Charlie Kirk and saying we need a it was a Mauser rifle, right? Instead of saying we need a big rope and a tree, what if you make a video saying we need a Mauser rifle with a damn power, good aim, and bow, and we shot him in the brain. You see what I'm saying? Now but your video will get taken down.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, how many views they got?
Hey, Denzel
Man,
Washington
that was
talked about
catchy
this
quick
same
too.
thing, bro.
And look,
like he treated one of the Jewish producers or directors on set because they tried to get him to do a role where, how about it's a black guy back in the racist times and he can't die. You can shoot him, you can hang him, but he can't die. He was like, yeah. He was like, how about this Jewish guy goes in and whole chamber filled with gas, and then he's like, you think that'd be funny? And then they was like, nah, then motherfuckers want to tweet with him. He was like, yeah. So stop trying to put me in that position. It's like you kind of gotta flip it to them for them to understand the shit ain't okay.
And bro, I'm telling y'all right now, Don't Tread on Me is a satanic cult. The serpent that you see is the symbol of Satan. When the Bible talked about the synagogue of Satan, it was talking about the people that's going to use it to try to carry out this dictatorship and this white supremacist agenda. They don't represent the true Christianity, which was what America was based upon, which was justice for all. They represent the colonialized version of Christianity, and they got these niggas sold on it. But see, when they call themselves the good boys fighting a good fight, you know what I'm saying? And when they talked about don't tread on me when you see the serpent, yeah, these people represent they worship the demiurge, they worship the Baphomet capitalism, they worship racial supremacy. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell y'all again, go back to Donald Trump speaking at the memorial yesterday for Charlie Kirk, and go to Stephen Miller. His whole speech was off the storm is coming, and Trump and them kept saying the storm is coming. That's Joseph Gottlieb. That's a speech he made in his early speeches. He was a Nazi Third Reich. That speech came from 1932. It was 1932. He reprinted it in 1933. The storm is coming, and that was right before World War II took off. In between World War I and World War II, he was a propagandist and writer for the Nazis. That guy took that whole speech and fucking said that yesterday. None of the media coverage is covering that. Now, you have people online pulling it up, saying it, but the CNN, MSNBC, all of them, nobody's saying nothing. They're not saying anything. If you look up the storm is coming, you're going to see Joseph Goebbels. He was a damn German, a Nazi.
So is World War III happening as we speak? Do y'all think that?
I think so. Yeah, it's a technical.
It's cyber, and it's a lot mixed with the war.
Mm-hmm.
All the laws and stuff that they had passed in Germany right before they did all that situation with the boy with the mustache and all that shit. He had passed all these laws, and then just went at one group of people. You know what I'm saying? That's what made all them flee over here and try their little weird shit over here. They seen that happen. They like, oh, all right, fuck it. We gonna go over there and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the past.
And you know what gets me though, bro? It's like with everything that Israel be doing, I don't ever see what Germany currently thinks about it. Like, I don't ever see Germany make a comment on what they think has happened ever since this shit has flipped.
But y'all realize what's happening in London? Because this weekend they had the battle rap. Summer Madness 3 was in London, and everybody that was doing interviews, they was talking about how when they try to spend their money, the people wouldn't even take their American dollars. They didn't want it. And they try to go to them and give them American money, and everybody was like, "Nah, we don't want that." They didn't even want the people money. They were like, "Dang, they don't even the pounds is so much more than American dollars. They don't even want our money." And they couldn't believe that. They were like, "Dang, they don't even want our money over here in London."
rest in power to my father, bro. I'm agreeing with you. I lived in Germany back in the 90s with my father. He was in the military. And they had their own money back then.
The euros.
This early 90s, they had these little coins, and I wish I would have kept some of them, called Finnies, and they just had some different names, right? And one thing I noticed about them folks over there, they never call United States United States. They always call it the states.
The states. States of mine.
And the states of mine, but also the states of borders.
Because this should be called the divided states versus the United States.
Facts, Sanchez.
Right. And it's the states of border, because think about it. You could go from one county to the next county, and this is just counties. You could go from one county to the next county and laws change. And that's counties. So when we travel in state to state, each one of these states are under their own set of laws.
Yeah.
Well, what country was that? That had all the money in the trash can?
I gotta make a quick run, but I probably come back, man. Ain't no telling on my other channel and do another.
Please come back.
Let me give a shout out to the sister though, Nafisha Jackson, for the super chat. Appreciate that, sister, for real. And shout out to the brother Joshua Tellerton once again. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate all of y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna try to be back, man. Salutes to y'all.
We appreciate you, Sanchez, for talking about all the talking points that they don't want to talk about. We appreciate you for that, brother.
Oh, yeah, man. We're going to stay on this.
You talking about the stuff that they don't want to talk about. Thank you.
All right, finna say, got to keep our foot on their necks, man. 100.
Thank you, Sanchez.
Peace and love. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Peace and love.
Appreciate